Okay, hopefully everything's good. Everyone can hear me. Thursday Night Live again on we got the NFL draft going. I think I might just bring in our guest tonight right now so we can get chatting right now, Dr. Yank, and then we could see cuz I'm curious if he what football teams. Are we good, ETG? Let me see. Oh, nice. We good now? Studio producer ETG, shout out. He just fixed the mic. Let's go. I'm going to bring in Dr. Yank, tonight's guest, right now. I wonder what happened.
It was working, and then I think
Hmm?
right when
Can I hear them? No. No.
Is everything good here?
now I can hear 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can hear. We
What?
Still there? Dr. Yank still here? Perfect.
Oh, there. What happened? Okay, so what'd you do?
Hello, hello. Let's see if this goes back in. Audio's back. We just had to reset it. I think it was too much. Image going in, like loading all these images. It probably just got it. Perfect. Let me set this up. Cool. All right. Is that sun always so bright here? Yeah, look, bright sun on you. Here you go. Now we're back to you.
Oh, dude, look at. See, there's no. Oh, okay. We had to reset all that shit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Holy shit! That thing is bright as. Yeah, hold
Is
on.
that the
Hold
sun?
on 1 second.
Sun's rising in the east.
Yeah, dude, hold on. Hold on. Technical problems all over the place right now.
Yeah. Funny.
Oh my god.
Oh, they traded.
Let's do this, man. Oh man, you're gonna have to update that. Let's get Dr. Yank in here. What the?
This is worse than being on a cruise ship in the middle of the Caribbean. It went out again. When the music's on, I can hear you. Mm-mm. You're gonna have to. He's gonna have to turn the music on and turn it really low. No, no. Nope.
Let's see. That's odd. It's working now. You know what it is? It's probably because we moved the cameras from the phone to this because it connects to that phone as the primary. So you can't move the view. Not this view, but let me mute myself. Get back in. Sorry for the delay, guys. Can you guys hear again? Yes. Dr. Yank, can we hear you?
I coming through loud and clear now.
Yes, I figured it out. Okay. Nothing ever happened.
Right.
Technical difficulties.
You are lucky that Eric the Great is there to save your ass every time. Every time.
I'm going to blame it on him. He's sitting here taking credit for it. No. Good job, man. I like the comments. I like the comments that someone said, was it Crapsmaster Journey? Did he make that comment about wearing the wrong colors because he's a Packer fan? I think it was. Dr. Yank, who do you root for? And first of all, apologies to everyone for the technical issues. If you really want to know what happened, is that we moved our live cam into a completely different room to get a different view. And I guess what happened was that became the main camera and that was switching automatically and picking up audio. So that was the issue. Anyway, Dr. Yank.
I'm a Bengals fan, man. You need to make some orange shirts.
Man, we
with
changed
the right
everything.
Color.
You guys, but you guys traded out to you guys traded your pick to the Giants.
It's all right.
Okay.
We're still going to win. Finally going to get some offensive linemen and be able to protect Joe Burrow for once, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to keep the little lot. Man, the draft is flying by right now. Flying by. I can't believe how fast it's going. It's already pick 13.
Well, it's only taken you 30 minutes to get me online.
Oh, man, which is, it's just the build in anticipation. It's been Dr. Yank been promoting it on the weather cam, by the way. So we launched this weather cam and then we promote, the upcoming guest. So someone asked me today, I think, who was it? Was it, is Will, Advantage Player. He had asked me the origin of Dr. Yank's handle. And he's like, was that from The Sopranos? And he sent me a little thing. And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to ask him tonight on the show.
Well, I will have to look that up because I've never watched The Sopranos. Probably should because I know it's an excellent show.
Dude, really? That's one of the best TV shows there was, I think. I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
If I had enough time to watch TV, maybe I might be able to squeeze that in.
Well, one day you and the wife will binge it for like...
I just finished Little House on the Prairie. What are you talking about?
Oh, man. What the hell? So, Dr. Yank.
The origin of my name.
Yes, Dr. Yank. From Virginia. This is the first time. I don't know much about, I was thinking, who do Virginia people root for? NFL-wise.
Well, the Commanders. Sorry. I'll politically correct myself. Yeah, Washington. The Wizards, the Capitals, the Commanders, and all the anti-Commander Cowboy fans. So,
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
I've had conversations with folks about how, all the places I've ever been, Washington is unique in that it's the only area where you will find an incredible number of Cowboy fans. And I ask folks all the time. I'm like, do you think if we went to Dallas, you would find an equal number of Commander fans? Of course not. So it's anti-Redskin fans.
Yeah. But I was out today. I had a lunch. I was over at Palazzo and I had lunch with for work. And this guy, he's from Long Island, but he was telling me he's a Giants fan, and he was telling me how like the Cowboys, the Cowboys are still the number one hated team in that division because I really hate the Eagles. I just hate the Eagles above. They're like somehow they inched above the Packers on, usually NFC North teams, like just, it's pretty much, they all hate the Packers because they've won so much. And then, Vikings and Lions are just like, they're just there. They're just there. But the Bears are probably the second. Anyway.
Well, the reason that people hate the Eagles so much is because they win. They're
They
jealous.
do. I know.
They're
It
jealous.
happens. It happens. They won too much. But Dr. Yank, thanks. I apologize to everyone in the chat. I was reading off everyone and no one could hear me, but let's just do this. All right. You're co-hosting the show right now with me, Dr. Yank. Jobless DGen, Globetrotter, Sweet Lou, Grasshopper, Bootlegger, Easy E. I mean, thank you for hanging in there. Brian, who else? Mad Hatter. There's some good comedy going on. Jamie in the chat, right? Who else is in here? Easy, Real Pain. That's a great handle. The Crap Stock, Dark Vader. I think we got Reapers in here. Do we have like the whole entire? We might have the whole entire Blue Ridge Craps Shooters crew in here.
That's
right?
my boys. That's right.
Craps Master Journey. Who else? We got Chow in here. Reaper. Wisco. Wisco, you didn't miss anything except technical problems. So whoever showed up late to the party, it was a good thing. K9 Comp, H2O guy, Stent Placer, Steffaruni. I don't know Steffaruni, but I like that. So I was even in Saki Mojo. Dude, let's get into this. I'll get to all the other shout outs in here, but thanks for joining us and apologies for the show, man, for the delay. It's
Saki. Hey, I got to say, Saki Moho is part of the Blue Ridge Crap Shooters as well.
Yeah, Saki,
ATS Hunter, Tennessee George. We're trying to get Mr. Yo 11 part of that, but he's kind of on the outer extremity of our group.
I've got a picture somewhere of the Blue Ridge Crap Shooters. The picture that was sent to somewhere, you know how it shows up in your feed? There
we are.
Yeah, that's not all of them though. So
no.
So Dr. Yank, I've met two of these guys, obviously Reaper and Dark Vader. I haven't met Saki Mojo yet, but you've got ATS Hunter. Is he part of this Blue Ridge Crap Shooters group?
He actually, that day that picture was taken, he had shown up after Dark Vader and I had left, because we were there. We met Saki and Reaper there about it was about 8:30 or so, and because it's about a 3-hour drive for us to get to where we were playing. And
where were you playing?
We were playing at Caesars, Virginia. Yeah.
Okay, so Caesars, Virginia. You're in Virginia. You're in. I'll always remember where you're in. The city you're in because it's Culpeper, right? Mm-hmm. Which is that of Dante Culpepper. So I'll never forget because he's a Viking QB, right?
Only one P. Only one P for us, not two.
Oh my God! There's only one P. I didn't know. I did not even notice that. But Culpeper. When do you ever hear that? Besides the people that live in Culpeper, it's just like Viking fan would go Dante Culpeper.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless you were a Civil War buff, and then you probably would know this area a little better. Manassas, Wilderness, Chancellorsville, all of those places.
Man, speaking of, I wonder if ETG loaded this thing up. Speaking of Civil War stuff, because I was like, what is Virginia? It's not a state that I've been in much. I don't really, I like that there's like a little crew. I almost really didn't, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, you guys are right above North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Yeah.
think that if someone asked me that, I might not have answered that correctly. But let's see, ETG made something. Maybe you didn't even load it in here. I don't even think ETG loaded this in. Oh, wait, he did. Here it is.
My tooth, it's broken.
Yep, little,
Nice.
yeah, little Civil War nod to the Civil War.
I like that. Yeah, we when we came out, I came out, and actually Darth Vader did as well. Came out to the experience last October, and that's where we met up with Reaper. I think you had played with him a little bit,
Yeah,
maybe knew him a little bit, and
yeah, Reaper's man.
had the pleasure of connecting with him, and then we had been working on trying to get together to play. And of course,
Yeah.
he's over in Charlotte, so I mean we're really not close, and so we're kind of meeting in the middle to try to be able to play together.
Yeah, I think that's so. You know what? Listen, this interview went nothing how I had planned because of the technical difficulties. I was going to start it at a totally different spot, but you know what? Just hitting it from the middle. Okay. How far apart are you guys? 3 hours living wise? Like,
Living wise, well, for me to get to Charlotte is probably 5 to 6 hours.
oh man, that's so
Yeah.
cool though that you guys have ended up like being that far away. That's like me meeting up with someone. Wow, my God, 5.5. That's like San Diego, maybe farther.
Right.
Really?
Right. Well, we're in a desert. I mean, we're in a casino desert. Because even my local, where I would normally go locally, would be hour and 15 minutes away.
What's your
And
local casino?
So the closest casino to me is in Charlestown, West Virginia.
Oh, okay, man.
So the closest Virginia casino is 2 hours.
Okay.
And then there's actually MGM National Harbor, which is up just outside of DC, and then there's Maryland Live, which is up in
Yeah.
Hanover, Maryland, even
Yep.
farther up. But we don't we have to plan our trips, most definitely. So it's a case of we're not usually about once a month. Darth
So-
Vader and I will try to put something together.
Okay. And so how did you guys met? How did you and Dark Vader meet?
We actually met in Biloxi at the
you
Brownwater
guys
Bash last year.
Man, so so Dr. Yank, you know a lot of people from a lot of different pockets, basically, because I don't even know how I met you. I met you. You were one of the first people. So this is a little like fun fact about you. You and your wife, Whitney, you guys were one of the first people to see this craps table when I got it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was too high. And
Yes.
it was too high. And I was upset about it. I was very upset about this table being too high. And I kept thinking, man, this is too high. Like I was almost like, then you and we met, and I don't know how we even ended up like meeting or why, but you came up here and I almost like had to confirm my worst suspicions, which were, yes, it is too high. No matter how many times you stand up against it, it's too high. And I remember when you were like, it's too high. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's too high. I have to cut the legs now. How do I do that?
Well, I'll tell. If you want me to, I'll tell
Yeah.
the story of that. So Whitney and I, well, actually, Bud, the bootlegger, will be glad to hear me say this. The Waffle House Queen, not Whitney. You got to use her correct name. So she's got her own handle. Waffle House Queen and I, we had went to Heavy Haltom's 75th birthday
Yeah.
party. We were out in
Shout out
Vegas.
Heavy.
Yeah, shout out to Heavy. 2 years ago was his 75th birthday party. And so
Mhm.
we were out in Vegas, and I had ordered, of course, you guys had been going. I had ordered some gear from you, and we had never met. And I was trying to catch up with you at some point to get the gear that I had bought.
Yeah.
And so we were over at the dealer school there in Las Vegas, and I was taking one of Heavy's classes, and you actually came in. John um, from ProCraps was there as well, and you guys were getting ready to do a podcast, YouTube kind of presentation.
You were there?
No, I wasn't in that class, but I was at the dealer school at the time. And you walked in. I had no idea what you looked like.
I remember that.
You walked in, and it's one of those moments where you know
Chow was
exactly
there, I
who
think.
somebody is.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know exactly who somebody is when you see them.
Oh my
And
God.
so introduced myself. We started chatting, and you were like, "Hey, why don't you just come up to my place and get your stuff?" A little later on, said, "Hit me up." So I sent you a text, and you said, "Come by 4:30, whatever." And so I had went back to. We were staying at Palace Station. I told Whitney, I said, and of course, on these trips, she's not really a casino kind of gal.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, we're going to go on an adventure, because I knew
Okay,
where you
nice.
lived.
Yeah.
I knew she was going to be like, what in the heck are we doing at this place?
Yeah,
And so,
she's like more.
So we get in the car,
nerd,
and I'm driving.
Yep.
I'm driving in. We're like pulling into the little parking garage there, and I said, looking for unit, blah blah blah, and the whole time Whitney is like, we cannot be here. We are going to get in trouble. You need to get us out of here before we get arrested. I said, I promise, I got this covered. Got this covered.
Yeah.
And of course, one of your folks came down, escorted us up, and I mean, you were a very gracious host, showed us around, and I confirmed.
Yeah, I was going through a very
traumatic
moment of going, wow, I finally got this craps table, and it's too high.
No, it was about 2 inches too high.
Oh man, dude.
Kelly took care of you.
I always remember that. And Aloha Johnny. So, and then that's when Bo confirmed it, and he brought over Aloha Johnny. And that's one of the times when I realized how connected this whole scene is. Aloha Johnny seems like he knows everyone. And you know what? Hold on a second. So Aloha Johnny sent me some gifts, dude. I'll show him. I'll show them to you. He sent me
a Shuckers hat.
A Biloxi Shuckers hat. And this is bizarre. Okay, that logo for the minor league baseball team. So that's a oyster, just so everyone knows. It's a very muscular, fit oyster with a shield. Okay, that's punching someone. Okay, that it makes really no sense. I don't even, but I like it. And thank you, Aloha Johnny. And then he also sent this, which is
very nice.
Which is a picture of it's an old picture of the Horseshoe, the Apache Hotel. And because you and I, and Ed now, and Aloha Johnny all have these vintage, these vintage Horseshoe tables, of which there are only, if Aloha Johnny is what he says is correct, there's only 20 of these. And so what do we, like, between the three of us, there's only 17 left, right? That we know of. That's pretty good.
You don't even know. I can't even express what a privilege I think it is to have one of these tables. I mean, it is a true honor to be able to have a table like that, because I mean, they're rare. I mean,
yeah, they are.
Rare.
Yeah, they're antiques. And so yeah, since there is no order to this, by the way, we're just updating this draft so everyone knows as it goes along. The Vikings are up soon, by the way. Okay, the Vikings are picking, which is
What's their
why
pick number?
they're 18, which is
Okay.
Jefferson's number. But so I have these Casino Tiers, these shirts. Okay, they're only made in purple, by the way, and they were made for one of my friends is a Vikings podcaster, right? And we became friends that way, and he does all these post games. So we give away Casino Tiers. He calls all the people like it's like Purple Gang. That's his like group of people, that his listeners, his community. So we did a collab, a Casino Tiers Purple Gang shirt, and we give them out like after every game, which is pretty cool. So
do you each have a tattoo or brand that you have to wear?
No. So it's pretty sweet though. Like, so no one really even knows about this. But I was like, you know what? Let's just do something. Let's give away a shirt. You know, I don't know.
Nice.
It's not like it's going to be
Very
much
nice.
crossover, but still it's pretty cool. And then he's got something to give away to, you know, it's like he asks a trivia question or something and whoever answers it, and then I'll send him out a shirt. It's pretty cool. So anyway, probably was just an excuse to make one of these in purple. You know what I mean?
So I never, I'm going to go back if it's all right, because I never answered the question of how I got my name.
Oh yeah, I've totally forgot about that. This conversation is just going to go. It's yeah. Go ahead.
Well,
go back. I'm gonna.
This is
load
our
up
this is
pictures
our
of this
normal.
table. Yeah.
This is our normal conversation style anyway. So we're all over the place. So in 2023, I think 2022, Waffle House Queen and I had went on. I think it was my second. We went on Craps Cruise 10. We'd been on Craps Cruise 7, and these were Craps cruises that Heavy Holtum had put on. And he would, we'd go cruising. He'd have some classes. He would have some students there that would be playing. And the second time we went on a cruise with him, he had just had a wisdom tooth taken out. He had a toothache. And so he had been to see the oral surgeon, and he was on the cruise and he was dying. Actually, it was the first time I had ever met Oz. He was on the same cruise. And so Heavy was hurting, and I was like, we got to do something to help you out. And so I had searched all over the cruise ship to try to find some clove oil, because usually if you're having a toothache, a quick remedy is to soak some cotton in clove oil, and then that's
like what they did in the battlefield, the Civil War battlefield.
Absolutely.
Right?
Little homeopathic.
I like that. I like the homeopathic stuff, man.
So anytime you ever have a toothache, a little bit of clove oil will do the trick. And so,
oh man, you just reminded me of something.
There was, and one thing Heavy had said was there seemed to be a lot of dentists who played craps, and so there
are,
and I always think that you should be bestowed with your craps handle. You shouldn't really pick your own handle. It should be given to you, sort of like a badge of honor.
Yeah, like you're knighted somehow.
And Heavy had told me, he said, there's way too many docs. He said, so we're going to call you Dr.Yank. And so from that point forward,
you got that handle from Heavy?
Yes.
Oh, dude, nice. Dude,
yes.
That's a guy to be knighted by.
Oh, absolutely.
Dr. Yank, dude. It's a great handle, man.
Man, I like you said, I have had some amazing things happen to me because of craps, and being knighted by the honorable Sir Heavy Holtum would be one of them. So
yeah, hey, check this out though. Since we were talking about your table that you have, I'm going to share this picture. Okay. So you never saw this. I don't know if I ever sent you this picture, but that is your table, your two
Right.
horseshoe tables in a storage room. That's now Ed's over there in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's yours. And you could see these horseshoe legs. And that's Aloha Johnny covering them up with a tarp. That's where these tables were in Vegas after you bought this table. I'll put up some other ones while we talk, but that's that table. Let me,
But
I will add some more. I want to show this. I want to show a close up of the leg that you have here, if I can. Let me see here, because that's what's here it is. That's what's distinctive about these. Here it is. Check this out. So that's what's distinctive about these tables. Here you'll see this, everyone, is these legs are if you look at most tables in the casino, most are not elaborate. They're just a base, but these have these horseshoe legs. It's the thing that really distinguishes with these tables. And man, these are heavy, dude. It took you how many people to move this, right?
yeah, and I had sent. Well, of course, I sent all the pictures from where we were moving in, but I put my two of my daughters to work, and my brother-in-law and myself, to try to get this in. The deck was probably the heaviest piece. The legs themselves will come apart, and you can kind of break them down into more manageable pieces. But the deck, of course, on the left, the deck, and then of course the tub itself on the right, both of them, are one solid piece, and they're incredibly heavy.
And then let me, I'm going to show this. I've got a close up of this leg here. Hopefully this works. Yeah, check this out. So that leg, yeah, I mean, those legs are cool, man, right?
It is such a beautiful table, such an incredible table.
It's super cool. And
of course,
yeah.
Of course, when we once we picked it up, I went down and met Johnny in Birmingham to pick up the table and bring it back to Virginia. He was kind enough to bring it from Vegas up to Birmingham.
Yeah.
And by the time we got it back home, I mean, it was pretty dirty. It was really dirty.
Yeah.
So, we ended up cleaning it up, and I mean, there was one of the things that the casino had done was they had put all this electronic connection for iPhones, or
I had a lot of that stuff too. Yeah.
And so we took all that off. I wanted to just strip all that down and get it back to just the table, and we cleaned it up. I mean, there was gum and all kinds of nasty crap that was underneath of it, and so we tried to we cleaned it up. I've started to use some orange oil on it, and some other actually Aloha Johnny had given me a suggestion for some wood cleaner.
Yeah.
And so I've slowly started to try to condition the wood, and it's just such, I love it. It's such a beautiful table. I haven't sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm going to try to upload this picture. We'll see if it uploads. It might not, but I might have to share the screen again. But I'm going to share the screen though, and show this other picture of this table all set up. It's awesome, dude. It's an awesome table.
It is so much different. I had given you a couple of pictures of my throwing station that I had, and it's just such a world of difference going from a throwing station to an actual real table.
See, that's it. That's a little farther. I'll get a better picture out, but these things they're kind of, I mean, These are not small tables.
No, it's I think it measures on the inside of the bowl. I think it measures 11.7.
Yeah, something like that.
So
11.6, 11.7.
yeah, and it's just wonderful table. And at one point, we are probably going to change the rails. I'm going to take the put a different type of vinyl over the rail and change that out. I just haven't. I've had a lot going on just personally, and just haven't had a lot of time to invest in sprucing it up and fixing it up. And I contacted Kelly, table
Yeah.
maker, to try to get a new layout, and eventually we're going to try to really make it.
It looks
really
cool,
make it
man.
nice.
You know,
I love
it
it.
looks cool when it's all set up with those legs. It looks really cool. I think it's nice. I think it's cool that there's that antique vintage element to this whole thing, and that there's only X amount. It's limited.
Well, I'm just amazed that the tables have lasted, because I know that most of those tables are just left out and or destroyed, or who knows what happens to them. I know in talking to Aloha Johnny, he had even seen one that had been left out in the weather and just basically left to rot. And it's a shame because, someone would take care of that table and to really take care of it. And it's a shame that they've been left out to just wear away to nothing.
Check this out, though. That's what you upgraded from.
Yes, that was it.
But
that's
That's not too shabby, though, man. That is not a shabby practice table.
No, that is that served me well. I have to say, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong
the-
at all.
The Waffle House Queen had she had bought that from a fella somewhere in North Carolina who had made those frames, and you
Yep.
basically that's on an 8-foot folding table.
Yeah.
And of course you've seen that layout on my shoulders and back, because we actually turned that into a shirt. And after the table arrived,
This is your shirt.
That's
I've
right.
seen this. Okay, that's where I've seen this before. This is actually your shirt. This was your
Yes.
shirt before it was a shirt.
yes,
It was,
that-
yeah. Talk
that
about
was
a
it.
dual use, huh? Right?
Actually, I'll probably bring the shirt. The shirt will make an appearance at the Brownwater Bash again. So if anybody's interested in seeing that shirt again,
Yeah. So that's where the shirt comes from. Listen, just to get to the chat, a couple things, and I'll get back there. We're just going with it. Matt Hatter, what year was it made? Do you even know? Does Aloha Johnny know? All I know is that these things are old.
well, I think most of those tables probably were from the 70s. Some may have been made in the 60s and 70s. So who knows? But I mean, they're probably as old as I am. I mean, I'm getting ready to turn 55, and they're probably as old as I am anyway. So,
Man, happy birthday coming up. Camper.
So can I tell seeing my buddy Camper bring a message up there? Can I tell a story about actually buying the table?
Yeah, but listen, shout out Camper, who's in. I didn't do anything. Dude, the start of the show was just a shit show. It was horrible. It was horrible, man. That's no way to start a live show. For everyone out there, that's what you don't do when you have a live show. But Camper's in town. There's a few people in town right now. I always like to give shouts out to anyone. Easy was in town, but he left because I was supposed to give him something. Camper's in town. Brunowski's in town. Jay Schwann's in town. I don't know if there's anyone else in town, but he said a Camper sent me a text, and I asked him, since he just commented. He said, just wanted to share. Yesterday, went on a solo coffee run, started at Paris, then to Planet Hollywood. When I bought in at Planet Hollywood, one of the dealers said to another dealer, oh, I like Casino Tears players. Happened to be wearing a shirt. Made me feel good that Casino Tears players are representing well enough to be noticed, maybe held at a higher standard. Just wanted to share. And I said, nice. And by the way, this camper had like a 39 roller because jobless D-Gen didn't meet up with him on purpose, but ended up like meeting up at the tables. And he was like, they ended up meeting. That's really cool. I like it when people end up, connecting, kind of how, your whole Blue Ridge Craps Shooters crew did. And shout out ATS Hunters in here.
So you're gonna like this story.
Oh, please tell me, man.
Camper, my boy Camper.
Mm-hmm.
So Ed and I are having a conversation during the cocktail party when
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Vegas for the experience last October. And he tells me that I think he's talking in general.
Dude, speaking of Ed, Ed's watching us on TV in Florida because
he's getting ready to get on a boat
at an undisclosed, hard to reach location. I can't wait to hear about. I cannot wait to have that. I've already got that chat scheduled with Ed to hear about him on a cruise. Oh my God, dude.
Cruise report.
That's going to be
Cruise
funny.
report.
I cannot wait to record that. Next Wednesday, we're recording that. That's going to be funny.
That'll be excellent. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Okay. Sorry. Continue, man.
So anyway, we're there at the cocktail party. I have no intention of buying a table. Ed tells me about some dude he's talking to. He's got a Binion's horseshoe table, antique. You're gonna, somebody should buy it.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling me about the conversations that he's had. I don't really, I kind of file that away. Don't really act on it or think much of it.
Right.
We get through the weekend. I've had a very nice weekend. Made a little money. Probably made more money than I expected to make. So, hey, you never know what's going to happen. And so anyway, Ed and I resumed the conversation about the fellow who's been talking to him. And of course, he's not wanting to really buy a table. He's got a table.
Yeah.
And so I text this fella and we start talking. And I think it's maybe Sunday. Kemper may chime in or Dark Vader may chime in because we're out playing on Sunday, I think it is. And at some point, I set up an appointment to go to this fella's house and check out the table that I currently have.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Dark Vader's with me. Camper is with me. Waffle House Queen is with me.
Man, you had the whole crew. That was like intimidation, right?
Oh, absolutely.
For a lower price.
The only person that didn't end up going with us because she had her own ride was Sweet Rolls, because Sweet Rolls would have been part of this story too. And it's Sunday afternoon, as Vader says. And so we ride out to this fella's place outside of Vegas, and we roll into some neighborhood. The garage door rolls up. Two fellas are standing in the garage with this with this craps table, and they've got all there's all kinds of stuff in this garage.
Yeah.
And so we're checking things out. We're talking, and I'm under the table. They're looking at the table. Get back in the car after we've had a conversation, and first thing that the Waffle House Queen says is, "Man, that's a beautiful table." And of course, I'm looking across the car like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Are you okay with this?" And of course, she said, "Yeah." She said, "I think it's a beautiful table." And those fellas are like, "Yeah." Said I would do it.
Yeah.
And so then we continued to talk and eventually sealed the deal. Of course, then I had to try to figure out how to get it from Las Vegas to Virginia, which was a whole nother. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, Camper was there. He was one of the originals, and I love playing with Camper. He is a super guy, super dude.
Gonna get Camper on the show soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk
Kansas
about that
City.
area.
Yeah, get the KC crew in there.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of people from KC. Shooting for Aces is from KC. There's that whole area that, well, I mean, it's kind of nice that all these, I don't even know like how some people have connected to each other. You know what I mean? There's that whole the East Coast thing, and then that whole confusing area, the Civil War area where you are with the North Carolina, man, that's gonna always, like, it's one of those things. It's like, man, I didn't realize Virginia was right on top of North Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of like, why is the Midwest called the Midwest when it's really like not even in the West? It's like, it should be like, it's not even middle of the country.
Yeah, but you have to imagine at the time that, people were moving across the United States. Yeah, I mean, when people were in Kentucky and moving across that part of the country, I mean, they had no idea how big the United States was. So
yeah, well,
I mean, right in the middle of the Midwest. Are you kidding?
Man, I don't know. I think they should rename it something. You know what I mean? They should.
The middle.
Something. It's just not. Those are the things that bother me. So, okay. So, Dr. Yank, how long have you been playing?
How long have I been playing? So my origin story started.
The origin story. We got the handle story. The origin story. Yeah. It started when I was bit by a spider.
So actually, I learned how to play craps from my younger brother.
Oh, nice, man. Lil Yank, Big Yank.
Actually, he's a computer nerd. He's kind of the senior ETG.
So he is, yeah.
He and Eric the Great would get along fabulously. Yeah. Actually, went on a family. We were on a family cruise again. Mm-hmm. All my crap stories begin around cruises, I think. But we were on a family cruise, and we were in the casino. Kind of wandered around. I'm like, what in the heck is this game? And wandered over to the craps table, and my brother's trying to explain to me what craps is. I didn't play. I didn't that particular cruise. We didn't go to the craps table to play because I didn't know. And but he was kind of telling me about the game. Looked a little bit too intimidating for me, and so I said, I'll check that out later. And then went on another cruise a year later. It was 2019. And actually, my uncle went another different part of the family. My uncle was with me. And he said, come on. He said, I'll teach you how to play. And my uncle, he actually had played street craps. So,
nice, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
That is, and of course, tough stuff, man. Street craps, right?
Well, but of course, he grew up. I mean, this is not like New York City streets. This is like backwoods, middle of the dirt road, Kentucky crap.
I don't know. I'm scared. I mean, now I'm terrified. Okay, that's not the old street craps where everyone's out on the curb, throwing dice on the pavement. This is like, I'm terrified now. This is backwoods. This is backwoods craps.
So this is more, this is a little tougher craps probably than the old street craps. But anyway, my uncle was on the cruise. He said, come on. He said, I'll teach you how to play.
Okay.
And so we started playing. Actually, the first time I ever played craps, a fella hit the ATS.
Oh, ATS. Nice, man. Are you an ATS fan? There are a lot of people like... You know what? A lot of the old guard does not a fan of the 10-ton. Really,
So after the guy, So after that fella hit the ATS, I
my
think I
God.
ended up. I was
Banjo
$700
craps.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, banjo craps.
that's a
I
good
think
one.
we were 700. I was $700 up after that session, and I was hooked from that point forward. And
Mm.
that fella had hit the ATS, and I've had a healthy respect for the ATS. Not that I don't have an obsession with it. I don't. I guess I pick my spots when it comes to
Ye-
playing the ATS.
I mean, you should have. Do you play it on yourself at least?
I do. I do.
Yeah,
If it's
nice,
on the
man.
table when I'm shooting, I will play the ATS. I told Reaper the last time that we played, I told him because every time that I've ever played with Reaper, he's hit at
Yeah,
least a side. Every single time that we played
Reaper,
together.
man, Reaper.
Reaper is the ATS king, as far as I'm concerned. I told him because we had a conversation, and I said, I never really bet the ATS on anyone else except myself.
Hmm.
And I said, you have proven to me today that I will always bet the ATS on you every time you shoot. And
Right.
so Reaper is an ATS machine.
I had a conversation with him. I remember this, and we were talking. I'm like, dude, why don't you just play the ATS for 10, 10, 10 when you're shooting? Just hit a side. And then he did like a bunch of times. I think it's worth it when you're shooting. Again, I catch a lot of shit for it, seems like. Man, Ed and Bo just were ganging up on me about that. Man.
Well, I think it's kind of one of those things where I wouldn't bet the ATS on everyone. Um, absolutely, I think you have to be bankrolled for it, and I think if you're bankrolled for it and you want to play it, you play it.
Yeah.
Um,
Sweet Lou says, what is favorite position to toss from?
straight out.
Man, that's what I've noted. You are one of the straight out shooters that is a really good straight out shooter.
Well, I
Solid.
think in one of our conversations, I told you I want to become known as the straight out shooter.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm wondering if there's anyone in chat that shoots from straight out. I know Camper had a great role, but that wasn't his normal position. But there's certain
Right.
people that really like gravitate towards that position. And weird, man. Maybe these positions just call you.
Yeah, Bo.
Like,
I know Bo likes to shoot from straight out.
yeah, Bo likes to shoot. He's good. He's great at Bellagio. Like, I legit, both times I've seen him, 3 times at Bellagio, he's done great from straight out. Bo also did great at but from stick right one at Caesars in front of me and Ed, just lit it up. It's great.
I think I have a mental. I don't know. I kind of have a mental block about shooting from the side. I've been trying. When I practice from stick right. I try to maybe stick right 2.5. I try to purposely shoot from there to have a secondary location. But
Stent chimes in. I guess Rock is who I've never met Rock. I've only heard Ed talk about him. And then Wisco, dude, Wisco says he likes straight out. Have you guys met? Have you ever met Wisco or any of those guys? Like
I haven't
Moonshine?
had the pleasure of meeting Wisco, but I would be
Those guys are dope,
eager and would love to meet Wisco.
That's a whole like there's that whole scene up in the Midwest, even though it's not the Midwest, right? That Chicago area, right? And then I like that there's now a little like group of you guys in the Blue Ridge crap shooters, dude. Oh my God. The Blue Ridge crap shooters. That is just amazing. I like that you guys have a name.
That is all Dark Vader.
And you guys are all like, are not a bunch of like, you guys are all like, y'all could have played football, I think. You know that? Like you guys all like,
I think some of us could probably lose a few pounds.
Yeah, but still, back in the day, I feel like, and then you got a punter there. I can't believe Reaper was a punter, man. That makes no
Oh, was
sense.
he?
Yeah, Reaper was a punter. So
I did not know
that's
that.
awesome, dude. That is awesome. All right. So
That is
anyway, yeah,
excellent.
Blue Ridge crap shooters. That's sweet though, that you guys have a whole thing going on down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But someone asked, I forget who. Oh, it was Globe. He asked, do you have a primary dice set? Which is interesting. I didn't know if you did or not. I think is it the 5665?
I use that as a come out set. I'll use
classic.
6.5, 5.6 as a come out set. I tend to use a 3.1, 3.5 as my primary set. If I'm finding that if I need to go off axis, if I'm tending to throw off axis, I will go 3.1, 6.4
Damn, you
to
go
try.
from
And then I also have thrown a 1.2, 1.4. So just kind of depends on how things are going.
The old 1-2-1-4. It'd be like a hybrid
booby set. Booby set. You got it.
It'd be
You got it.
a booby mutant set, sort of in my own weird world, right? Like it's not a pure booby set. That would
So
be like
you
a
remember
1-2-1-2.
you remember in January when we were at the experience and we were on that half table.
I don't know if that's
and we were on that half table. You were standing beside me at straight out, and you asked me what I primarily throw with a 1-2, 1-4, and I was using it. I was using the 1-2, 1-4 that particular day, and a lot of fives. And
Yeah.
I think I set the point of 5 3 times during that particular hand. So, but for whatever reason, it just kind of depends on what's going on that particular day. So,
Matt Hatter asked, he said, have you ever met Mo and JJ? JJ also, he was just out here. I think he left. I'm pretty sure he left. But JJ was just, he likes shooting from straight out. And then Matt Hatter asked if you ever met Howard. I don't think you have.
Well, actually, when I was on, I can't remember if it was the first cruise or second cruise with heavy. Actually, Howard was on that cruise, and that's the only.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the only time that I had any interaction with Howard. And of course, I think he passed probably 6 or 7, 8 months after that, unfortunately. So it was, I count that as one of those privileged times to have met someone.
Sure.
Because life is short, man, and you never know. You got to take advantage of every opportunity that you have to be with somebody and
play the ATS. Take advantage of all those opportunities.
That's
play the ATS. All right.
Bet on yourself.
Okay.
Bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself for sure. Believe in yourself. Actually, believe that you can do it and you can hit it.
Absolutely. But yeah, I would actually. It was really cool to see Ivy, who was at the January experience in Biloxi.
Yep.
And so I was able to. We had not really met, and I don't think she was on the cruise when I had met Howard. So I was glad to be able to connect with her and meet her. And so any opportunity you have to hang out with somebody or gain some knowledge from other folks who are much smarter than you, take advantage of that.
Yeah, but can they pull teeth? Oh, I got a question. Have you Dice Grinders? Shout out Dice Grinders says always bet on yourself for any bonus side bets if you practice shooting. 1,000%. I agree. Bet on yourself. Why? Some people, on the guys that I know that I talk to, I'm like, you always got to bet the ATS on yourself. Why not? The worst thing, one of the worst things imaginable would be playing craps and not spending that extra, whatever it is. I think it should be $30, $15 if you really have to, on yourself. Okay. And then you hit it. That's going to be like, it'll be like your fault for not betting on yourself. You can just watch, that'll teach you.
So last summer, we had went to the beach in North Carolina in the Outer Banks, and it was my
The
birthday.
Outer Banks, man.
Outer Banks, yeah.
That's
Do you know where? Do you know the Outer Banks?
No, it just sounds like it's
So you guys
rough.
talked about you talked about the Outer Banks one time. Kill Devil Hills. Do you remember that?
Kill Devil Hills. Yeah, that's
Kill
what a
Devil-
cool name,
it-
man.
Kill Devil Hills is in the Outer Banks. Kitty Hawk, that's where the Wright brothers flew the first plane
Yep.
on the beach.
Yep.
And so it's a very popular East Coast vacation spot for people in, our area, all over the place.
Man.
And so we have some friends of ours, and we went to the beach. We were coming back home, and to come back home, we have to go through Virginia Beach, which is a big metropolitan area in Virginia. And they have a casino, and I said, it's my birthday. We're going to stop at the casino. And so the Waffle House Queen and I, and actually our oldest daughter, were traveling together. And so we stopped and played craps for a couple hours. And I didn't bet on the ATS and hit the ATS.
Oh man, serves you right, dude.
Serves me right. And so this fella had quarters on the ATS.
Oh, dude, like Reaper's betting quarters right now.
That's right. The dude tipped me $100 after I won him.
Yeah.
He had quarters, and he said, "Dude," he said, "I appreciate it." He said, "Here's your toke," and threw me 100 black chip, and of course that reaffirmed to me, always bet the ATS when you're throwing.
Yeah, I don't know how people can argue with that. I don't know why. Man, those guys really gave it to me, man. All right. ATS owner said he's going to be in Vegas. He's part of your crew. He's going to be here on the 6th. And I don't know if you saw this comment. I think you should also bet on your brother and not the dark side.
my brother does it well. The brother who taught me craps, he doesn't even play craps anymore. So
yeah, it's ATS FOMO is real, says ATS owner. Moonshine chiming in. I have hit sides and the ATS and wasn't on it. I still will hit them and still won't be on it. Dude, hey, listen, he's a man of principle. Moonshine is a man of principle. I can respect that. Stands his ground. He will not bet on it. I'm like, okay. Everyone, has a line in the sand, they draw. Moonshine will not do it, but I don't know, man.
I will bet on myself every time, but not always on everybody else. So
yeah,
sometimes, but not every time.
Yeah, I'll always bet on myself. Always. But I think a big thing is with that ATS is that FOMO that people always worry about. If you can get over that, then life's easy in craps. If you can just get over like not betting or just betting very little and just kind of.
Well, I think it goes back to a lot of things that you guys have talked about on the podcast about having a plan. I mean, and maybe that's something you guys should talk about more specifically, having a plan when you go into the casino, because some folks have a plan and some folks do not have a plan. So,
I mean, it's always nice to at least have an idea of a plan. You know what I mean? Right? A semblance of a plan, something.
Well,
right?
that could be, I find that to be a tree off of your discussion of systems versus styles, or what
Strategy.
did you call it? Strategies, systems versus strategies versus plans, because I think plans kind of meld into both of those things, and plans are
No.
especially important in strategies.
Well, I think a strategy is in how I see that, like a strategy incorporates, it's like an overall plan that incorporates a bunch of systems versus what I feel like it mostly is on, and it's on YouTube, is I think just a lot of systems, which aren't necessarily, they're very different from strategies. I mean, we're kind of, it's semantics. I mean, technically I'm correct. I mean, I'm just going to cut to the chase that technically I am factually correct. Just so for anyone that doesn't think I'm correct, I am correct on this. And a system is always going to be part of a strategy. You could technically have your strategy be your system, but that's absolutely like, I mean, you're never going to win at this game if your strategy is your one system. It just isn't like, it just isn't. That's just not how it goes.
All systems are strategies, but not all strategies are systems.
Well, all systems are, a strategy executes systems.
Mhm.
Okay. But you could technically, theoretically, hey, I'm just going to play the Iron Cross and that's it. That is my system, but it's also my strategy. I mean, I guess your overall strategy is not really that complex as playing one system. It's just, they almost don't even, I guess you could technically say it like that, but a lot of people on YouTube are mixing up those two words. You can just do, we can do a casual search on YouTube and everyone will be mislabeled. And I'm talking everyone. There's not a YouTuber out there that hasn't mislabeled this, because you can just go on and check. Here's my strategy. No, it's not. Your strategy is actually a system that is incorrectly labeled as a strategy.
Yeah, and I agree with you, because I guess I never really liked the term strategy, but when it was actually just a system that they're talking about. And you things change so much at the table. I mean, you can have a really hot table, and then all of a sudden the temperature drops and the table goes cold. And if you're not ready for that, I mean, if you're not ready to change, then you're going to lose a lot of money really
Yank,
quickly.
that's a good segue. You know what? When the temperature drops, you could always get one of these, which is a long sleeve. These things are sweet, man. These things are great.
You gotta lay it over the table.
I don't like talk about the merch and supporting the show nearly as much as I should. I should have a reminder, talk about this. But yeah, when the temperature drops, perfect time for the new long sleeve Casino Tears shirt.
Hey, the summer's coming and the AC is going to be cranking. So get those long sleeves out.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I do think that you should, I don't know. I'm pretty opinionated when it comes to strategies and systems, just because I see it incorrectly. It's just incorrectly labeled. And that sort of stuff is
right.
When you like pay attention to details, it's listen, little Stent giving us the old draft update. Vikings take Florida Gator Caleb Banks, 6'6", 327 stud. Thanks, Stent Placer. We could use it.
As Stent Placer would say, Gator boys stay high.
Yeah. let me get to some of these chat things. ATS Center, Tenzin getting some NC education. By the way, I loved Asheville, North Carolina. And that place was cool. And then it turns out, I didn't know that's kind of like a ritzy spot now, isn't it?
Hey, the Vanderbilts made that place a place.
Oh, really? I mean,
yeah. Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Cornelius. What a name, man. Cornelius. What a first name. I wish I knew some Corneliuses. I wish I
So-
had friends that were named Cornelius.
So if you ever go to Asheville, a
Oh my
really cool
God.
place to go is to Biltmore Estates. It
Oh
is
yeah, that's
an
like
incredible
I heard
place,
about
man.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Biltmore.
We've been there
So
a couple of times. It's a wonderful place.
there was a small bar in there called Alternative Pub, and that was some of the most memorable shows in that place. Was insane. I loved going to Asheville, and that was cool. But it's kind of it's an affluent town, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. I didn't know that at the time. I was sleeping in a van and a couch. Pat the Plow. First time I hit a side of the ATS and thought I was going to hit the y'all. I was shooting with Dice Grinder and wasn't on it. See, Pat the Plow. Yep. Mad Hatter. Snooze, you lose. Yep. Shooting for ATS is always a hot button issue, isn't it, Dr. Yank? It really is. ATS, I'll miss you by 3 days in May. Looking forward to playing with you again. Oh, that's Shooting for Aces talking to ATS Hunter. Let me just finish. Caroline Reaper says, Yank likes to bet on the extremes when playing crapless. Oh, do you play a lot of crapless, dude?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I mean, I enjoy it because I haven't played a lot and I'm trying to play more to just, it's a little different game than I think regular craps, and just trying to expand my abilities by playing more. So,
Yeah.
but and it's Caesar, Virginia too. That's what's open early in the morning too, is the crapless.
Yeah, Shooting for Aces says, like every time I don't bet the ATS, it hits. Now I just play it and moving the bet level up. And it's one of those things like, those things. I think it was where I first hear this. Like Charles Barkley said, I think maybe he said this. He's like, once you fly first class, you never really want to not fly first class, which is actually true. Once you fly for first class, man, it is just an experience. I got a story. Oh my God. The first time I flew first class, such a random story. I was coming back from Rome. Okay. And I was there and I was beyond hungover. I mean, I was like one of the most hungover I've ever been. And I had almost stayed up the entire night. And I was partying so hard that when I got to the airport, I was like, it was packed and they asked, hey, do you want to delay your flight? I'm like, no, I want to go back home. So they ended up, and then there was a couple like that was like newly married, and they were like, can we switch seats with you? Like, can you swap? And I'm like, I'm in that awkward spot. I mean, it's such an awkward spot. It's a newlywed couple asking me to like give up my seat and stay, and I'm hungover. And so then I'm like, I talked to the lady because the lady was really nice to me at the checkout thing. And she's like, I'll put you in first class. And so I was like, okay, dude, the first class on Alitalia Airlines was, dude, this was like, keep in mind, I was like a broke musician. Okay. So I'm in there and it's like a movie. I'm in first class. There's only like 5 other people in there, and they're serving me like a whole meal, like a 5-course meal. And so then I just slept most of the flight. It was like the most amazing thing ever, flying first class internationally. And yeah, anyway, so that's my first class story. But when you do it, once you do it, it's tough to go back, like the ATS.
The only time I've flown first class has been the next day after I've had to sleep in the airport all night long.
Oh man, that is grim.
So my first class experiences have not been pleasant because I'm not hungover, but so tired from sleeping upright in a chair in the airport. So
yeah. And sometimes first class isn't really first class. Like I flew first class on Breeze Airlines with Bo, and it really wasn't. Like it wasn't. It's just like you're just in the front. Maybe your seat's bigger, like a little bit.
I figure if they offer me a drink when I first sit down, that's a good thing. So
yeah, that's Is this really your brother? I'm his older brother who didn't teach him to play craps. Is that really your older brother?
No, it's not my older brother.
Oh man.
No.
Dr. Yank, what is what is a typical strategy you play?
I
from
don't know
Globe.
who's
Globe.
shooting.
Oh. I guess it would be, well, how about when you're shooting, man? Because you're the shooter, the one that counts.
When I'm shooting,
Yeah.
typically on the come out, I'm gonna bet quarter on the world, nickel on the ace deuce.
Yep, the old world ace deuce.
I'm gonna probably bet at least 10 on the ATS, if not quarters, and probably a quarter on the pass line. And then once we get into the point cycle, I'm gonna probably run one. Well, and then it kind of depends. Are you up? Are you down? If I'm a little bit up, I'll probably play 110 inside. If I'm really up, I'll probably do 160 across.
That's solid.
But I'm usually not an across better, so I really would have to be. I'd have to be really up in order to bet across.
Yeah. Yeah. I would tend to agree with you. Listen, a couple things. Shout out the jacket, man. Let's see. Asheville's overrated. That's funny. Check this out, though. What?
ATS Hunter is from Virginia, from North Carolina, so he's allowed to bash on Asheville.
Yeah, I know he can. He can. Camper Brunowski had a side today playing with jobless Deech, and he hit the all. Oh, nice, man! So, congratulations, you guys.
So can I tell another story,
dude? Not what hat do you have on right now?
That's my local high school.
Oh,
so
okay.
So that's my.
Did you go to college out there?
Hat. I went to college at William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia.
What are you? What is William and Mary? What?
William and Mary. Well, it used to be the Indians, but
they had to change it.
They did, but we're the tribe. So
William and that's what they're called now.
Yeah.
William and Mary, the tribe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
Well, it's. I think it's still Indians. I don't think they made them completely change, but we're collectively we call ourselves the tribe.
Okay. Oh, nice. So you didn't go. Do you prefer like the Hokies or what's the other team? The Caval.
No, I'm. Well, originally I'm from Kentucky, so I'm a UK Wildcat.
Oh man, what city? Where was that? Where were the Wildcats? Lexington. Oh, I like Lexington. Yeah. Lexington is another good, like these secondary
cool
markets to go play shows and were always so much fun, man.
Yeah.
I could tell you a story. I cannot tell this story about Lexington on this show, but I can tell it. What a weird story. Weird
why
shit
can't you tell this? Why can't you tell the story?
Because this would get flagged and I can't. No.
This
would be like, I cannot tell this story, but it is a bizarre story that you just remember. Okay, so his Carolina Reaper strategy is start out with black chips on the extremes. Do you? That's a great strategy, actually.
He is conflating my play.
Bootlegger asks, "What are you drinking, Yank?" What do you got
13
there,
colonies.
13 colony?
Yeah, courtesy of the bootlegger.
Oh man!
Shout out to the bootlegger.
A little shout out to X-Man late to the party. I'm going to see X-Man. Hopefully, I'm going to start playing some WSOP events. I'm actually going to play a poker event before I even come back from my 60-day craps prison sentence that I'm serving now. I'm going to end up.
That's what you've been getting ready for, hasn't it?
No. I feel like it'll just be nice to go play that though. There's some good like $500 tournaments. So.
All right. So
do you regress?
No. Once your bets are paid for, you go to the moon. You go to the moon, baby.
Oh, wait a minute, dude. Hold on a second. You flew fucking breeze. What do you expect? Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that flies direct. And then Caveman, disagree with ATS Hunter on Asheville. Agree was better 10 years ago. Yep. William and Mary is one of the oldest schools in the U.S. I did not know.
Yeah, it's 1693.
Man, talk about that fact. 1693. Really? Wow.
A little fun fact: I was part of
Yeah.
the 300th graduating class.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice, man. What did you get your degree in?
Why don't you guess?
I don't know. I mean, so I don't know how that works. You got like a dentistry degree, basically? No,
Philosophy.
no, really. Oh
Yes.
man, you could really dive into some deep conversations then about craps.
It was just one of those strange things that
Man,
I happened to get a hold of early on, and just loved it.
I wasn't smart enough. My brain wasn't, I don't think it's fully evolved enough in college. That like philosophy, that was too deep for me at that moment. I was still experimenting with acid. I think at that time I could not yet, like, I did not have perspective on everything. So, yeah.
And I did get so as part of our degree program, they had the college divided up into three different groups of study. Like you had sciences, like physics and math and all that sort of stuff, and then you had social sciences, and then you had arts. And so one of the things that we had to do is you had to take more classes in an area outside. I was a philosophy major, and so I had to pick something other than either hard science or arts, because philosophy was considered an art. And so I ended up taking several classes in psychology. So
nice, man.
I've had just to kind of have a connection there with you. We had quite a few psychology classes.
Yeah, I mean, I only took I took psychology. So I needed to figure out what I was going to do. And at that point in college, it was the only class that I had gotten an A in. So I'm like, yeah, okay. I kind of just went that direction and then kind of liked it into psychology. So that was a liberal arts school, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So was Michigan.
Yeah. So it's funny. Oz just put up that comment, but I met Buddha Bob in Biloxi at one point, and we had got into this really crazy conversation over the dinner table, and Bootlegger and Oz just about kicked me out of the restaurant. So,
wait, about what?
We were talking. Well, we were talking about Buddhism, and because of course Buddha Bob is a Buddhist.
Yeah.
And I didn't know much about Buddhism, and so we started having this really protracted oblong conversation about Buddhism. And they said, if you ever talk to that man in our presence again, we'll never eat with you again.
Well, that must have been actually probably an interesting conversation. I mean,
no, he's
right?
a cool dude. I love to talk to him, but I got to do it on my own time.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, I was not ready. My brain was not ready for philosophy when I was 21. I cannot. I don't know how people, I don't think my brain was even fully formed when I was 21. I mean, that's some deep stuff, man. I wasn't ready for it.
Still blows my mind every day.
Oh, look at it. He says a real buzzkill. Shout out Oz. We were drinking a lot. Yep.
we were. I think that helped them keep from killing me that night when we were having that conversation. Is they were drinking a lot of pecan old fashions.
Listen, keeping us on track. Okay, was a Reaper. What was the story you wanted to tell, Yank?
Oh,
thanks, Reaper. Thanks for being a producer, keeping us on track. Okay,
that's right. I don't even know now. We have gotten so far away from that. I don't even know what story I was.
Man, I don't know what story. Were you talking about your what, strategies, ATS, the
No,
Outer Banks, right? Wasn't
No,
Cape Fear filmed in North Carolina? I think it was.
Cape Fear. Cape Fear is Cape Fear River
is that a
runs through
place?
North Carolina. Yeah.
Man,
So
that's
so Cape Fear
scary.
is I know there's I think the Fear River, maybe, or Cape Fear River
Man,
runs through North Carolina.
You guys have
So some of the
there's
Carolina guys will have to
Carolina guys.
verify
I
that.
want the Carolina guys on here. Man, I'm trying to get them on here. Anyone that wants to be on the show, let me know, because they got some cool names for shit like Cape Fear, Kill Devil Hills. Some shit went down way long ago in the Carolinas, right? Yeah.
It was a rough place. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, Dr. Yank, you've taken all these classes. It seems like you've taken this topic that I do like to talk about, which is how everyone learns the game. But you've taken a lot of. You've now taken. So have you been to Bose on your own?
No, I didn't met Bo until I met him with you guys at the experience.
In Biloxi?
No, in when we were
Here.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the next time that I go to Vegas, I'll connect with Bo to spend some time with him. But having any kind of class with him specifically, I have not had that opportunity yet.
I'm going to try to get him and Heavy on to talk about the old times. You know,
I love, and I love to hear those stories. I know, a little bit about some of that connection that they had when, they were kind of connected. When, even Dom was part of, in that picture. And
that's why it's fascinating to me, dude. All those three guys were basically like, flash forward now, it's like three guys taking at the experience. It's like, and then they became all like legends in the game. Isn't that awesome? They were all started in the same like class essentially, and now they're legends. So that conversation between, let's say, between Heavy and Bo, sort of talking about that stuff, I think that will be awesome just to hear about how it was and how it's changed, because it's changed so much. Playing craps now is nothing like it was back in that day. And I still think a lot of players, with all due respect, still play the game like it was. And the game has changed, in my opinion. It hasn't, but it has. The felt is changed. Look at the felt. It's very different. There's so many bets. You can still say, and again, respect to all the players that are playing, this is how it should be played. This is the way it was. Maybe there was less options, but that's life today. There's, you know what I mean? These phones, there's a million things going on all the time now. Back then, you had to pick up a phone and dial a friend. You know what I mean? It was way different. You had to write a letter and stamp it and send it to someone.
Well, I think part of the, one of the things that's really interesting to me is that, intentionality is still a big deal. And I think even back in those days when, they were trying to connect in different places, and, there weren't as many casinos then. I mean, there were less places to play. You had to be really intentional about making sure that you were in certain places together. And I think that, even today, you have so much distraction and you have so many different options coming at you that you still have to be intentional, in not really intentional in the sense that you want to connect with folks, but you have to be intentional about blocking out all that noise. And so it's amazing to me because, they weren't living in the same place. They weren't,
Yeah.
they weren't right down the
But
street from each other.
but
And so,
Yank, it was more adversarial, I think, casino versus player back then too, than it is now.
well, I think that it was, but it was also, I don't know if they were, my impression, and I could be completely wrong about this, but there was still, I've met a lot of great folks through craps. I mean, the whole reason that we're even on this podcast is because of the connections that I've made. Connections, I've got people blowing up my phone that I haven't even read some of the texts that they've sent me, and I haven't seen any of the chat and what people are saying. And I've met a lot of great people, and had really great connections with folks.
Isn't that
But
fucking
but
insane when you think
but-
about it, dude? Yeah, how
absolutely,
many people?
but
we've
even back
met?
then,
Yeah.
but back then, even, I don't know that they were completely trusting of each other. They were
Oh,
still
yeah.
kind of guarded about,
Everything.
what's this guy's intent? Is he trying to take advantage of me? I gotta guard my yard, that kind of thing. So, it's one of those things where I'm, I heard Heavy talk one time about how he had went to one of Dom's classes, and he was listening to a presentation, and maybe it was Irish Setter. I may not have that right, but he said, "You know what? I could do this just as well as these guys.
Hmm.
I know as much as they do. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not going to learn anything from them because I already know this. Why would I pay for something that I already know?" And so part of it is just making sure that for them it was, I know where my space is. And so you know things have changed, but at the same time, we still have to connect together. I mean, I think that one of the great things is we don't have to compete. I mean, we get to collaborate, we get to enjoy each other's company. I mean, some of the fellas that I've met through you guys, through Heavy, just through this community, I mean, there's people that I'm closer with through this community than I am that lived in my own neighborhood. So it's just an incredible
I think it's
thing.
pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool that I was talking to someone. I think it was at a meeting today. Yeah, it was the meeting. And I'm like, man, the craps community, it's like, I feel like craps players almost, I don't know if it's you become infected with this virus in your head, which is this game. And it's a puzzle that it can never fully be solved. So you're trying to not only master this game, which has a million different options in my head, and then there's so many different to technically master the fundamentals of all the bets and then understanding the levels. You almost have to pick lanes and then go with it. Otherwise, my brain used to, like I said, I would just be standing somewhere, maybe here they had a great steam room. So I'd go up there, and then all of a sudden it'd be 30 minutes because I would just be staring at the ground thinking about third hit, raise to the third, fourth hit. I could be here and I'm going to run this. And I'd be really just over and over and over again. I'm telling you, this game, I think it really starts to seriously, it's like a virus in your brain when you start getting into it, and then you can't stop thinking about it because it's a very difficult game to just master. And then there's a whole other side of it, the physical side of shooting it. Forget about mentally betting at it. So that's when you find someone else you can relate to what they're going through, because in some ways it's I wish I could stop thinking about it at times, right? I mean, that's how I feel like once you start you start obsessing about it, and then your desire to actually like just do it and master it. And then you can't go, lucky because I'm here. But for the people, by the time you get from a place to where it is to play, and you want to do all this stuff that you've thought about, and then you realize you can't really do it all for a variety of reasons. A lot of the reasons being, okay, I'm not going to get the dice, or it's too crowded, or this, or this, or this. And then it's just one of those things where and then you have to come back and do it. I don't know if you can fully, when you're going to fully be satisfied. And then on top of that, yeah, like Reaper said, virus equals greed plus competitive nature. I mean, there's definitely a competitive nature. Not so much, there is a greed aspect to it, like, but it's more like I really want to make a lot of money, but I'm happy making 20% or up anything from it. 10 is describing my daily life. Oh man. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, and I don't even know if it's necessarily, I don't know if it's necessarily greed. I mean, because we all want to walk out with 21K. We all want to walk out with 6K, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think part of it is that having the, I think for me, having the ability to come up with a plan, and when I see that plan play out, there is, I mean, and part of it, and
that's a
and you could
strategy. So come up with a
could-
strategy and then
you could-
implement it.
Well, you could probably talk about the the physiological side of that, in that when you have that win, I mean, there is a dopamine rush like you can't even imagine.
Well,
I mean,
it's such a sense of accomplishment when it's different when you win when someone else is shooting versus when you're shooting and you do it. These are very different feelings. Like, I'm so happy. I'm more happy like when someone else does it, because I'm just like stoked. I'm more stoked and more animated. Like, you're amazing. Good job. Right. But then when I do it, it's more like, I knew I could do this. I knew I could do it. Fucking did it. That's it. It's really just a sense of my own accomplishment, knowing you could do it.
Well, we a couple of weeks ago when Lip King was talking about how we met, and he was talking about there was one night on the cruise where I had just a incredible role, and probably one of the better roles I've ever had in my life. And there was a fella, and I think back to that particular time, and and that's one of the things, part of me, being the philosophy guy that I am, I think about that moment and not really thinking about crafts, but just thinking about that whole experience, and how, what I was thinking, what I was going through. And there was a fella who came up. I was straight out on stick left, and this fella came up in the hook on stick left, and I'm rolling. I'm like, you talk about being in the bone zone.
In the bone zone. Dude, I
was-
want to get
was-
that guy on the show.
I was there. I was there. This fellow walks up, and I hear him, and I don't really look at him because I'm kind of focused on the table. I'm focused on the dice. I'm focused on what the game. I don't really look at him. I'm not really talking to him, but we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
And he said, "I don't want to disturb you." He said, "But I'd love to get in on this role."
Oh man.
And I said, "Buddy," I said, you can buy in. I said, anything you want to do right now. I said, you're completely okay. I said, I'm completely okay. I said, if you want to buy in, I have no trouble with that. And it was such a euphoric feeling, because you get to that point where you were so locked in, and it's kind of almost a ethereal state that you get to when you get in those great roles. And I
Man, you
told him,
were,
I said, if you want to buy in, I said, no problem. I said, because this role is going to continue.
yeah, you are a,
And
like, yeah,
and
man,
so
what a,
Lip King gave him some money. He got into the role, and I kept going. And I
man.
probably threw for 8 or 10 more rolls before I sevened out.
I don't know if a
But
lot of
it's
people would have in the chat would have done that. I don't know if I guess, but you were feeling it, man. You were just in it. You,
well, you just kind of it's funny. It's funny when Bo talks about metaphysical energy and how it's one of those moments where you feel that and you kind of know that, and that was one of those moments where I'm like, there nothing, you can change dealers, stick change, dice can go off the table, any of the negative indicators that come up,
yeah,
not going to happen. And it was funny because um I just I was in a different place. It's like I wasn't even at sort of an out of body experience almost when you
man.
have a really great role right
Did
like
you
that.
see Buddha Bob? Were you?
I wish he had been there.
Man, yeah, that's so funny, man. Oh my God, this was funny though. This comment, I got to say, like, greed makes you think about laying the ATS. That's an interesting comment, or I think also smarts. I think also
Yeah, and
makes
I don't know. I don't know if that's greed. When you're
hmm,
somebody called that. I've been watching. It's funny. I've been watching this sports. There's a sports betting class online on YouTube that I've been watching through Stanford. I think it's through Stanford. This dude has a sports betting class,
oh,
and it's
interesting.
it's it's very interesting to watch, to see what kind of things that he talks about. And I don't know what the exact term is that he used, but in sports betting there's a way to where you bet both sides
Yeah,
of
was
a
it like
of a bet.
arbitrage? Yeah,
Yeah, and you bet both sides so you don't lose.
mm,
And
yeah,
that's, and I've heard you guys talk about that a lot with the ATS and laying the ATS to win some money. And I don't see how. I'm not for sure that that's completely a bad thing,
Yank.
but in
It's
the.
listen, Yank. It's the name another game. Anyone in this chat, where in the casino where you are guaranteed to win money, that you can put yourself into a no lose position. And I'll wait. That you are in a no lose position at that moment when you like one of those numbers. You've guaranteed it. Name another one. And I'll keep waiting. But Pat the Plow says it's so weird when you get so locked in that you're actually surprised when you 7 out. 1000% correct. There's moments when you're shooting and you're like, man, I'm not even like a 7 is nowhere in my brain. It's like I'm expecting. You can just feel it. It's a weird, it's a cool feeling. Dice grinder, not greed.
The sevens have been erased off the dice.
Yeah, not greed, just smart to guarantee yourself. Moolah. I like that moolah. Let's see what Craftsmaster Journey 100% Pat. When you are practiced enough and become confident in your throw, you know when you enter the zone, and it's unbelievable when it ends. It's that is a true thing. Okay, so I don't know this Alex Monahan. Who do you know that reference? I don't know. Wisco, I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know,
no idea.
but I now I want to know, and then guarantee win. I'm not greedy. Yep. So, and maybe that is the bone zone. Oh my God, that guy cracks me up, dude. He cracks me up.
Love Stint is my bud. Actually, we were talking yesterday, so we were commiserating because both of us are moving our mother-in-laws.
Oh,
So,
dude, that's a Wisco. He said he's a sports bet guy.
Alex. Oh, Monahan. Oh, does he? Is that
that might be the sports
that class? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So, but I think there's just a sense of accomplishment that I enjoy from playing, because this guy that I was having lunch with, he likes to play poker. But the thing is, I really like knowing that I did it. Like I did everything. I didn't, that when you're shooting it and you did it and your bets and you cause yourself to lose, or you know what I mean? Like I threw the 7 and I can deal with that stuff. You know what I mean? Whereas some other games, like with poker, again, it's the game where you can play it perfectly. You can get the other person to make the wrong decision, and yet you can play it perfectly and still lose because of whatever, luck, basically, or the odds are definitely not against you and you still lose, but you played it perfectly. That's why I like craps better. It's more, I did it and I can deal with also losing on my own, as you know what I mean?
Well, and one of the things that, you know, you're not always in the zone, and it's important, you know, the other side of it is knowing when you're not in the zone and
Yeah.
being okay with that, because
Yeah.
you're not going to have it every time.
When
and
you, oh, I was just going to say, when you, just to even get in that zone, sometimes it's like the group of people, if you're with the right group of people and you seem to go out with a lot of different, you seem to, it's not like you're going out solo.
I try not to. I mean, I have, and you know, I've won solo, I've lost solo. You know, I love to have people with me that I know, because, you know, I enjoy craps more when I'm with people that I know. But, you know, I also enjoy craps when I win. And so you kind of have to work the system so that, you know, if you're going to be in a place where you're going to be relying on yourself to shoot, you're not for sure, you know, whatever yahoos, or, you know, as your favorite term, you know, whatever ferrets are there, you know, causing
Dude,
chaos.
Ferrets, man. Oh my God.
It-
Someone sent me a picture of the $50 ferret. I forget who it was, but they were like,
that was
is this the
G
ferret?
Dub, wasn't it?
It
Wasn't that
might
G
have.
Dub?
Well, G Dub made that picture of the $50 ferret, which really was good, man. God, man, G Dub made the best. I tell you what, if you had seen this guy, yeah, you know what? Listen, I'm going to take a little moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Yank, I think you're wearing this beautiful, you are wearing my favorite Casino Tier shirt, which is, that's a longer cut, right? Short sleeve. Yeah, man. It's my favorite one. They were, the story behind these shirts, this cut was mostly made for like a gym brand or something. They're like a little longer. These things are cool. I like these shirts a lot. So they're on sale somewhere. They're not really on sale. They're being sold in the shop. But listen, man, I want to show this. Speaking of ferrets, man, dude, this
Bring it out.
thing.
Bring it out.
Oh my God. No, well, I want to show you this thing, which is what G Dub made, which was hilarious. No, not that. Hold on a second. This. Dude, that was the $50 ferret. I'm telling you, this guy is living in Paris, driving around, and that's what this guy. Yeah. If you see a don't better, it's this guy, the $50 ferret, man. So,
I wish you know, I have to rely on Waffle House Queen, or I don't know, people who are much smarter than me to make really great creative memes like that. So
or this
I'm not
thing,
smart enough to do that.
or this. Yeah,
Love it.
That is good.
Love it.
Ferret is a great term, isn't it? It might be. I actually thought a long time about that while I was having, you know, where my brain goes, right? These deep thoughts. What is naming,
You know,
naming
it
people?
I have tried to get to the point where it doesn't bug me. When I was the last time we were playing, Dark Vader and I were playing with Reaper and Saki Moho. There were folks that would just kind of wander up like that, and I'm like, go away. I just want to turn around and just tell those folks, just go away. You are bringing a dark cloud over this table. Please go away.
But it's funny when you first start playing, you have no idea that there are ferrets, and in fact, everyone probably started out as a ferret. You know that?
Probably so. Probably so.
We've all been there, man.
We have evolved out of our ferretness. So
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I think we all start scurrying around. But there is the original ferret, though, dude. If you're ever with me in Paris, the original, the OG of all ferrets, where the name came from, he's. And by the way, the Bum John was with me when I think first uttered those words, and Mr. Pressett was to my right when I saw the first ferret scurrying, and I wasn't playing, so it made like I could really like picture this giant ferret scurrying from table to table, back and forth. So
I can't believe that he actually followed you around.
Oh, that the $50 ferret? Yeah, the $50 ferret did. That was an absolute act of aggression. Moonshine was a witness to that. He saw that. But Ferret won that war. He won that war. He won. He got the best of me, man. That's a learning experience. I'll take it. I took it home, analyzed it, and he won.
Can we take a break? Because I need to run to the body real quick.
Oh, hell yeah, man. If you want to stay on, we'll add this to the stage right now. A little Vegas view.
Yeah. And then give me like
you can take as long as you want, man.
As Chuck Woolery would say, 2 and 2.
Yeah, man. Take as long as you want. I'm gonna let's see. ETG. We're gonna take a boom. Thanks for everyone for sticking around, man. Appreciate it. Oh man, ATS Hunter. I swear I saw Scooter guy. Yeah, dude, he is there. Thank you, Moonshine. He did get the best of me, man. And I will admit it. He did get the best of me. Oh, yeah, little commercial. Hold on a second. Let me.
My tooth, it's broken.
Sweet. Nice, man. Perfect.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh man. Aloha Johnny sent me all these pics of your table.
Yes.
in the U-Haul. They're on my other phone. He doesn't have this other. I got that I would like to show them, but
Don't
um,
don't ask him about the Penske truck.
no, I won't. Oh, listen, hey man, where's that? Can you hand me that hoodie? Listen, I'm going to give a little shout out to a sponsor that's not a sponsor, but just a friend of the show. So listen, I got this. This is a Wisco's apparel line. Okay. This is the back of this hoodie. It's Pit Boss approved, right? But check this out. Let's see, good thing we took that break. He said he made a discount code for Pit Boss approved, 10% off for all Casino Tears fans. And the code is, I'll put the code in the chat, dude. It's CT10, Pit Boss approved. You could put that in there. ETG, I'm just telling them that's awesome. So yeah, if anyone's doing anything and they want to be a sponsor and Pit Boss approved, yeah. Not really just be a sponsor. All right, let's see. Oh, listen, here's a chat. Shout out Fuzzy. He says awesome merch from Wisco. And then this is interesting from Helms. Biff Helms. What a name, man. It takes a serious industrial bandsaw to cut out the horseshoe shape in the craps table legs. Probably did 2 or 3 layers of wood.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Aloha Johnny would know that too. You know, Ed's going on a cruise.
You've never been on a cruise before?
No, I'm gonna wait about 30 more years. I think I'm good.
I think either
I'm good.
You either love
I'm
cruises, you either love cruises or they're not your thing. So, and that's okay.
I don't think I'd want to play at something where it's just a $500 limit. And that's really crowded. It just does not sound, those two things don't sound appealing to me.
No, it would drive you crazy.
Oh yeah, he's going with Johnny and Aloha Johnny going with him. Man, I mean, I'd like to witness that. That would be funny to see, right?
If somebody could go along as a videographer, it would be a wonderful thing.
I don't know, Oddsfellow. I would not love a cruise. I would not. No, I just know.
No, you would not. You would not.
I would not. I think I really would. No.
I'm shocked that Ed actually agreed to go on a cruise.
Oh man, I gotta put these pictures up. I gotta put these pictures up. So Table Maker. So everyone knows Table Maker. Table Maker is going to be in town, and for his, I think it's for like a trade show or something over at Mandalay Bay. He's making a 10-foot. I don't even know if it's 10-foot craps table. I'm going to put pictures up right now of this table, but he wants to know if anyone that's in town wants to pick this up, and I'll put these. Yeah. Oh, actually, I got it here. I'm going to send these pictures to this. I'm going to just send these 2 pictures, and I'll post this. So if anyone is in town and wants to pick this up, I don't know how much, if it's even, I don't know what the deal is, but if someone's interested that's in Vegas, Table Maker table, small one. It's going to be here to pick it up. I don't know if it costs anything. I'm not quite sure. But Wisco says, I'm just reading the chat now. He made his table. It's a great table. He made my table. It is a great table. But Table Maker, see, that's a handle that like naturally just occurred. He didn't know he was the Table Maker until he was like dubbed the Table Maker. Sounds like he should be in like a movie or something, you know?
I think that as I said before, you have to be given your handle for
Yeah.
it to be authentic. So
Yeah. And so ETG is going to put this up. I'm gonna put this share screen. Yeah. Check this out. So it's a small table. Let's see if we can get this. Here it is. So it's a small, I think it's like I don't know, is that 10 feet? I don't know if that's 10 foot, but it's a very small table. Oh yeah, we'll put up another picture of the shop. But yeah, he asked me to post these. So if there's anyone in Vegas that's interested in this, let me know. And then I'll put you in touch with Table Maker. And then here's another picture of this, just so you can get some idea of scale. Tough to tell the exact dimensions. Yeah, it's a tub. It is a tub, essentially. But you never know.
you could put that on a folding table, and that would be an excellent table for someone.
I mean, I wish I had the dimensions. There's another table in the back. But anyway, if anyone's interested in something like that, just let me know.
I think, and I think I've heard tell, if you're on a table with Table Maker, that if you play the ATS for him and you end up hitting the ATS, you can get a table for basically $75.
Yeah.
Isn't that
And
right?
then yeah, and I mean, I've played. So yeah, that's a funny story with Table Maker. We ended up, like, when he got that table, he's always ready to like wheel and deal. And so we went downstairs to Aria. We both put in some money. And so I basically paid for my table by playing dice, which was awesome. So in some ways, it was like a free table in a weird way. But yeah, it's a 6 to 8 foot table. That's what Parsons Bootlegger says. And then interesting, Globe says, Dr. Yank, what layers do you have under the felt of your table? Is it a firm or bouncy table? Because Ed's is somewhat bouncy because of how it was made. Do you?
Yeah, and see, and I haven't actually taken the felt off mine yet. Actually, I've been in touch with Table Maker because he's going to make a layout for me, a new layout, custom made, and I just haven't given him the details of what I want just yet. But actually, the horseshoe table that I have is actually very hard. It's I was actually kind of surprised to hear Ed's appraisal of his table and it being really bouncy or more bouncy, because actually the table that I have is actually very hard, because when you throw the dice on it, you can hear a definite
I
clap.
bet Ed wishes he
Yeah,
had that one.
but yeah, it's
the condition
definitely
of that
hard.
table that Ed has is really good. The condition of that table. So
yeah, and I've yet to take the felt off of mine yet, so
yeah.
that'll be a discovery that we'll make at some point in the future.
Oh yeah, you should do that. You should get a new felt for that thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But we've kind of been, like I said, we've had some life things going on and haven't had a chance to give most of the details and work out the specifics with Table Maker just yet. So we'll do that.
And he's a great guy. I know he told me that a lot of people ask him for tables, and he really kind of doesn't have that time. I think what he's more going to do now is just like say, hey, I can ship you the parts and you could put it together on your own, because it's just expensive as it is just for the materials.
Well, and I don't know what the cost of the material is, but I know that it's more expensive now than it was, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And so, that playing, the deal he has with playing the ATS is, that's not a bad deal. But he's also got to make sure that, he's not losing his behind on making tables too. So,
Yeah.
but
I wanted to start start also saying that anyone that's been in Vegas like prior to, you're welcome to come on. I'd love to hear about like what happened in Vegas. And I know people really like to hear. I'm always interested in trip reports and everything. That's why I don't know if Granite Dice is still here, but I didn't end up I was supposed to meet up with Granite Dice. I never got a chance just because of work and schedules, but I said, listen, if you can make it on, I'd love to hear about it, because it's always good to get some, who was it? I don't know if it was, I forget, and I'm sorry if I don't get this right, but I don't know. I don't think it was Easy. Oh, it was Hero. Hero sent pictures of, he was there when they changed the felts at Paris, and sent over pictures of that. I'm excited to go play those, because they moved an ATS over to the solo side, and I think they kept the one ATS table that I like. They just refelted it, and then the crapless is still repeater, and then the other ATS over near the stadium craps is now a repeater. So I like hearing about that stuff, getting that news, the news feed.
well, I think that one of the things that, especially for you, I mean, you've got so many different options to play, that you want to kind of narrow down what are the optimum places to be. For us, there's a limited number of choices that we have.
Yeah.
And so, you are in the position to be really choosy, be really picky about where you play. Whereas, we don't really have that option. I mean, if we show up at a particular casino and there's one table open, that's it. And if
Yeah.
you don't want to be there,
I know
you're
that
driving
sucks,
45
man.
minutes
God damn.
to get, yeah.
That just sucks. I feel for everyone out there. I could not deal. I think maybe I don't know. You get to be really picky. I kind of understand. You begin to understand what some of the older guys would say on for example, not that much older, but like Tony Leo, and he would say, I only go out here super late. I get it. I totally get it, man. That is the right, if you just really want a table by yourself, going at a certain time has to be factored into it. Weekends aren't really factored into it. In fact, and a lot of, again, all my good, a lot of my personal good rolls have happened late night on the table with one or two people. Talk about just getting into,
I know that, thinking about the times that I've played and places that I've been, I've been in Vegas and been to casinos where it ended up being that I was the only one on the table. But, being, anywhere around where we are,
yeah,
I've been to my local
yeah,
when it first opened, and I was the first person to the table.
yeah,
But within 10 minutes, there's 3 or 4
yeah,
or 6 people on the
yeah,
table.
yeah,
So even if I am lucky enough to get there when the table first opens,
yeah,
it's immediately 6 people on the table.
yeah, man. That's just,
Because the other thing is it's not 24 hours.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah, that's that's horrible. That's
yeah.
horrible.
So if you show up, maybe the table opens up at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. They're just opening the table.
Yeah.
One table. That's it.
Yeah. That's it's rough it's rough out there for for sure. I wanted to clarify something though. The solo table G-Dub is the single table. That when you first enter into Paris, it used to currently up until like last week, it had the repeater on it. Now it's got the ATS back on it, new felt, and then you'll hit the crapless table, which has a repeater, and then over by the stadium craps, it used to have 2 ATS tables. Now it has 1, and then the other repeater. So, and then I'm gonna. Hey, do you want to stay? Reaper says, how do you say that? Catawba, Two
Catawba.
Kings.
Yeah.
We'll have 2 new tables, 3 total in 3 weeks. That's cool.
Yeah,
and then shout out to the fucking Palms. They've already got 2 more tables in house to go 8 tables. Oh my God, I haven't got a meeting there tomorrow. Oh, so listen, anyone that needs a host, I'm going to go meet my new host there. And he said, I'm welcome to send anyone his way. So, and this is a guy that's been doing it for like 51 years, an old school Vegas guy. So get in touch with me if you need a host at Palms. All right. Yeah. And the little table by the fountain. But Dr. Yank, I'm going to bring in, shout out Mile High Mike. I'm going to bring in, you want to stay for this chat with Granite Dice? You guys ever meet?
I have never met Granite Dice.
Well, you could just stay in here because I'm going to ask him about his little Vegas trip.
All right. Sounds good.
Yo, Granite Dice, man.
How are you?
Man, it's prepared, man. Granite Dice, how are you, man?
I'm doing all right.
Nice, dude. With the headset, dude. I like that, dude. I like it, man.
He looks like he's heading out on the open road.
Yeah, really. Look like a truck driver.
That's right.
I just been sitting here doing paperwork, catching up on things, listening to the program.
Granite Dice, I didn't get a chance to meet with you. He's from Granite Dice. Obviously, is from the Granite State. Is it the Granite State? It's New Hampshire.
It is the Granite State.
Is that where Plymouth Rock is?
No, that's in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, that's not even on the coast.
Yeah, that's like flatlands from here.
Yeah, my mistake. Okay.
Hey, I have I have a connection to New Hampshire. How about that? Yeah. So my daughters were really big into swimming, and one of the families that we were really close to, their son lives in New Hampshire right now. He moved up there with his wife, and they live in New Hampshire. So,
oh, there you go. Well, some people say all roads lead to New Hampshire.
Wait, what is the real quote? Like, all roads lead to Rome? Was that it? Or
I'm not sure. I've always used all roads lead to New Hampshire.
I think it's got to be something like Rome, right?
Yeah, New Hampshire's got so many connections and so many things. It's pretty wild. The first man on the moon.
Really?
Oh yeah, we had the first teacher in space.
Oh man,
we had
all right.
We had the drunkest president from New Hampshire.
Who was that?
Franklin Pierce.
Oh, what? He was a president?
Yeah.
There was a president named Franklin Pierce?
Yep.
Oh man. It's not good.
He was billed as America's drunkest president.
What?
You can buy a shot glass up here that says, "I drink with Franklin Pierce."
Man, I am living in a different reality, different timeline. When was Franklin Pierce? Where did he?
Oh, pre-Civil War.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, the middle 1800s. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we knew him as a Southern appeaser.
Oh, nice, man.
We kind of blame him. We kind of blame him for the Civil War.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. Before my time.
Some people say he gave the South everything they wanted because he didn't want to deal with it.
Bad negotiator. Then
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, bad negotiator. So Granite Dice, dude, you were out here. Where'd you stay when you were out
Palms.
here? Okay.
And I got to tell you that previous host fixed this up nice.
Oh,
we had a 2-queen suite on the 16th floor for 5 nights. Totally comped.
Nice.
No complaints there. And then when another party showed up, I talked to another host. They fixed me up with a room for dirt cheap for my other companion. And while we were there, I got to play with Two Seam. We played for a few hours.
Yeah,
on
Two
Thursday
Seam
night.
was here, lighting it up.
Yep. Yeah, in fact, Wednesday night I had a monster roll there at the Palms.
Oh, nice, man.
Lost track somewhere around 32 rolls. But
What do you think of the tables there at Palms?
There's one that I didn't care for. It was over in the corner by the bar.
Really? That's the one I love. If that's the one, right directly across from the crapless.
Yeah, that one beat us up all week.
Oh, it did? Well, yeah. You know. Yeah. Okay.
But now I had my best roll on the one that was at $5 table. That was all I could get on that night.
Yeah.
I went somewhere around 32 rolls on that one.
Okay, solid.
And I hit the talls twice.
There you go. Did you bet on them?
Oh yeah, and put the dealers on them too. So everybody was happy.
Hit the talls twice. Gotta like that.
It's first time ever I've done that. That hit them twice.
That must have felt good, huh?
Oh, it did. It was one of those accomplishments, and it was.
No, it really is.
It was about 12:30 Wednesday night, and my buddy from LA had just showed up, and he knows nothing about the game. And Dice came to me, and I said, "All right, one more time, see if I got anything left in the tank," and put on a show for him.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, and for everyone else, did you just did you what were your thoughts on the cruise there? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, there was one crew member who was having a bad day on Thursday, and other than that, everybody was great. And she was friendly enough, just having a bad day.
I mean, it happens.
It does.
I mean, but they're pretty strong there. They're overall, there's going to always be a couple good dealers on.
Yeah, there's the cruise at night were great. We really enjoyed them. You know,
how often do you get to Vegas, Granite Dice?
Lately, it's been once a year. I was on my way to the Pomona Auto Show. In 10-ton, you know about that.
I do. You know
out there
what?
At the Fairplex. But,
I do. In fact, I'll gotta get something.
Uh-oh. So anyway, I go out to the Fairplex for the auto show in April. Hook up with all my buddies in LA and do 3 or 4 days in Vegas on the way there. I'd love to get out more, but it's just tough. I'm busy.
Are you a car guy?
Oh yes, absolutely. I have a small collection.
Granite Dice. This is one of the shirts you sent me.
Yes, sir. It is. That's the one from the Great Pumpkin Show. Yeah. Yeah,
the Great Pumpkin Show. Whatever. Yeah, that was nice of you. I always wanted to hold up a lot of these shirts I get, and then I just forget. You know, like a lot of things. But thank you for that shirt. There's another one that's green that's somewhere here.
Yeah, the one with the pickup truck on it.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, we just finished up a couple more custom designs for events up here.
ATS Hunter asked, did you hit it with quarters on it? What do you have on the ATS?
Nickels.
Yep. Still juicy, man. Did you get a chance? Did you come close to hitting them all?
Only hit 2 of the smalls. I was hammering the talls.
Where were you shooting from?
Shooting from the end, straight out.
Oh, nice, dude. These are 2 straight out shooters right now.
And
rare breeds.
I had been shooting stick left 1 or stick left 2, and I got down there on the end, and I had about 5 White Russians in me, and I was just flowing.
That's nice, man. I don't hear many people say they drink White Russians.
Well, I drink those because they're light and they don't mess my stomach up.
That is a great casino drink. I've had many White Russians at the casino.
There you go.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you can drink them all night and not get too big a buzz.
That's funny.
The waitress that night, she just kept bringing them. Myself and No Handle Steve each ordered 2 and dropped her $10, and she just kept bringing them. she would bring another one before we even finished the first one.
That's a good waitress.
Yes. Yep. We took good care of her.
Yeah, or
I think it
server.
had something to do. I think it had something to do with the $10 tip you laid on her.
It could be, you know, that could be. She did take good care of us, no doubt there. Yeah. So, you know, the trip at the Palms, we had a great time there. Loved the room, loved the place. It's the first time I'd ever played there. I'd definitely go back there again. The only downside that I saw is I probably played between 15 and 20 hours while I was there and really didn't earn squat for comps. I think I earned more comps playing video blackjack than I did playing craps for whatever
Did you know
reason.
what your average bet was?
It
It's
depends.
tough
How do
to
you
earn
how do you
comps
figure
with-
how do you figure your average bet?
I don't know. You got to
that-
ask them. You have to ask them.
Yeah,
and they'll give you an idea. And it's tough getting comps from playing craps. It really is tough to get those hours in at a high level that's
especially-
meaningful.
And especially if you're at a MGM or a Caesars property, it's very tough.
Well, particularly Wednesday night, I was certainly betting higher on myself than I was on everybody else at the table. In fact, one of the dealers leaned over to me at one point Wednesday night and said to me, "You know, you're the only person at this table that can shoot."
Oh, that's nice, man. That's
And then-
nice. The thing is that the better relationship you have with whoever it is, the floor, they are going to make sure that they pay attention to you more and rate you more. A lot of times I watch, you watch floors and I think maybe they're just over it, but unless you really kind of ask them or they know you, I think sometimes they just mail it in and they look at your first bet and that's it. Maybe they might not come back to you in a long time. It just takes a minute sometimes. That's why it's always good, I feel like, to make nice with these guys, because they're going to edge, they're going to put that up a little higher.
Yeah,
And
I talked to one of the floors on Wednesday night, and he said, "Oh yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on things," but I still didn't really earn any comps to speak of.
Hey, is your local MGM Springfield? Dark Vader wants to know.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Easy.
Yeah.
I will play that sad dog skit at some point soon. All right. I'm glad someone likes that.
But
So-
enjoyed playing with Two Scene, but he's got a nice throw, nice and smooth.
I would advise anyone to if they are in the vicinity of Two Seam. I think that guy's like overall like on a heater, like on an extended heater, because he is always hitting something pretty big whenever he goes and shoots. I don't know if he's going to Biloxi, Dr. Yank, but
Not
Yeah.
that I know of.
Yeah, well, that night, him and I really couldn't get much going. We were just treading water that night.
where else did you end up going besides, did you play at Ellis, or where else did you play when you were in town?
Played at Ellis a little bit and made a few bucks there.
Yeah.
We played a little bit downtown. My buddy Steve likes to get around down there.
Yeah, I don't
And,
really, I never play downtown anymore. Dr. Yank, do you ever go downtown? Vegas?
I haven't been down. Well, I haven't been to Vegas enough to really say that, because typically we'll stay up on the Strip more than
Yeah.
any place. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been downtown, but it's actually been a couple of years since I've been
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
the games down there aren't what they used to be. The tables are higher limits now, and the games just didn't seem to have any life to them.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I should maybe make did you go down and play Fremont at all?
Yeah, that's what I mean by downtown. We were down on Fremont Street.
Yeah, but did you play Fremont?
At the Fremont?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be honest. I can't remember where we played down there.
That's
We dipped into probably every
Yeah.
casino downtown, but
Yeah.
we played at a couple of them. And I can't, for
Nice.
the life of me, I can't remember. And we dipped into South Point. I wanted to see what that was all about. And I can see why people don't like it there. The stick is fast. You got to really get your bets in. I'd never seen the stick call so many no bets.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah. So you did go to South Point. And it's always
Yep.
an experience. I feel like maybe people should go down to experience what a place that isn't necessarily like favorable to craps players is like. And then it makes you appreciate, the other side of things where you are given the time and you aren't given a hassle. They will hassle you immediately.
Yeah, and only double odds on everything, so that was
Yeah, I know. That was a bummer
different.
too. That's a bummer. And by the way, a lot of people, I'll just say this, but Palms, Palms was 10 times odds.
Yes.
Yep. And then but let's shout out Ripper, who's in the chat, and then and Easy, and then Lucky 2 is here. Yeah, man.
But on this trip, I added something a little bit different to my come out roll. I started hopping the hard ways on the come out. And overall, I hit them 1 out of 4 times.
Oh, really?
So that
Nice.
seemed to be paying off for me. And one roll, I shotgunned it. Came out on a hard 4. Next roll's another hard 4 with that bet still up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's killer.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I did that, I would take the green chips, leave the dealers the rest of it. So they were really hoping I would hit it. Every time I hit it, they got a few bucks out of it.
Camper says Fremont table was good to me. Only table to play hard, but not forgettables. Seemed to show any flaw in the toss. I like the Fremont tables. I've always said I like the Fremont tables a lot. He said forgivable. He corrected that. Hard, but yeah, forgivable. And then
Okay,
Mile High Mike said 5-row diamonds at South Point. That I didn't know. I don't remember that.
yes, it was 5 rows there.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you go anywhere else while you were in town?
Oh, Steve got into a poker game at Bellagio and was doing pretty good till he wasn't.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that like to go play poker at Bellagio.
I think he was up about $700, and then all of a sudden he was down $1,200. But that was one of his goals. This trip was to get into a high stakes poker game.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the place to do it, right?
Oh yeah, he did just that.
Do you have any Granite Dice? So are your Vegas, your 1 year, your trip, your yearly trip is done then to Vegas?
Yeah, that trip is done. Of course, last year I was tied up with my leg in a cast for 3.5 months, so that kind of put the kibosh on my winter.
You should try to meet up with Lip King and BRB when over at Foxwoods.
Yeah, I've got BRB's number, and Foxwoods is a reasonable distance from me.
I mean, those guys just went out and had another great session. You know that, Dr. Yank? Both those guys, they Lip King met up again, and they had another, winning session, which is great.
Yeah, I was not aware of that.
Yeah. So that's like both times they've met up. So you should maybe get in on that if you can.
Yeah, the other place that I hit at home occasionally is Oxford, Maine. I seem to do well up there.
Oh man, talk about a place that's like I've never even thought about. So there's a place for craps in Maine?
Yeah, Maine has 2 or 3 casinos, and the closest one is Oxford.
Man, Yank, dude,
It's right up there by
gotta be-
Poland Spring.
there's got to be someone over there, you could call like the lobster, or the claw. You know what I mean? Some shooter up there that's like wandering into the table. Right?
Lip King is my connection to the Northeast. If I'm heading to the Northeast, I'm heading to my buddy Lip King.
Yeah. So he was gonna pop in into the show today, but he had a flight or something that he had to catch early. He's always he's funny, but I like that he's like that connection was made, and then now they're going and playing. And
Yeah,
he was telling
super
me,
guy.
what's
Super
cool thing
guy.
is, Granite Dice, is that he was telling me, he's like, dude, you don't understand. Like now we don't even like say, we just like, like they don't barely talk. They just get down to business, man, of shooting, which is cool, man. That's just kind of, you kind of know you're like in good company when you don't even have to say anything to the guy you're with, you know? You're just like,
Oh yeah, no,
let's-
it's no handle. Steve and I do about the same thing. We block for each other and take care of business.
yeah, I
And
like that.
social-
He's,
socialize
I like it.
afterwards.
His handle is preventing a handle. You know what I mean? Right?
He doesn't like anything I offer up to him.
Man,
You know,
if you were
he's-
wearing a casino tier shirt, this would almost be like a slot machine payout. You know
haven't
what I
sent
mean?
it. I would be if you
I
made
know.
it
I
over
was
to the
supposed
Palms.
to get you one. Yeah, I know. I never made it out. It's just one of those things. Work happens, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Fuck, I'm not leaving."
Yeah. Well,
So
after I'm done with my busy season, I'm going to try to get out again um, before Christmas.
yeah,
Between now and November, my schedule's nutty.
So other than creating great maple syrup, do you do anything else? Granted,
Well,
Dice.
I'm supposedly retired, but I run a clothing business that occupies my whole summer, and I do consulting for the National Hot Rod Association at their professional races.
it's pretty sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, I hit a lot of the races on the East Coast. I've got to hit the race in Maryland end of May. Last weekend of May, I'll be down in Maryland, and then the weekend after that, they have a race up here in Epping, and I'll be at that one. So that they bounce me around here and there. I was down in Florida in March for the opening race. That's a fun gig. I mean, it's what every retired car guy would like to do with his life, is to rub shoulders with all the pro racers. So I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I'm trying to back it down, but I do a little bit of industrial consulting for industrialization and automation.
Yeah. What is that? what is that?
Oh, well, I'll give you an example. There's a startup pretzel company up here, and they were bagging 6 bags a minute with their machine.
Uh-huh.
They had an ad for somebody to help them, and I went in and inquired about it because I was looking for something to do that winter. And I got hooked up with them. Well, in about 2 months, I had them bagging 40 bags a minute. And now they're in Costco, Walmart. I mean, they're all over the place. They got big all of a sudden. But I sort of helped them to get to that point.
What are they called?
Port City Pretzels.
Oh, nice, man.
They're a lot like Dot's Pretzels.
Yeah.
Are you a pretzel eater?
You know what? I'm not really much of I got to tell you about pretzels, man. So I think it's one of those things when
you got a pretzel story.
Well, not really, but like when you grow up, it's one of those things where it's like kind of like coffee. You're like, oh, I hate coffee. Now I love coffee, black coffee, right? You know, it's like one of those things, kind of like cigarettes. Oh, you know, you hate it and then you end up being a smoker. But like pretzels is something that you don't really appreciate, but a good pretzel with mustard is really, that's a thing, man. That is a thing. But I don't go and snack on pretzels. I'm not like,
wait a second. Can I make a stand here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
If a major league ballpark does not have soft pretzels and mustard, they should shut the park down.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You go to a baseball game, you want a pretzel, and they don't have a pretzel? Are you kidding me? Every baseball park in America should have soft pretzels.
Yeah, I think Oddsfall, by the way, says NED is a damn nice track. I don't know. That's a track you know.
Yeah,
right?
that's my home track right down the street.
Okay. All right.
I work in the tech department there.
And then he says, "Amen, Dr. Yank." Dude, the soft pretzels are a thing. I mean, of course, but I mean,
well, these are crunchy pretzels.
Yeah, see, dude, crunchy pretzels. I don't know, man. I do like crunchy pretzels, like with chunks in like ice cream and stuff, with like when they're mixed with or they're covered in dark chocolate. But man, just having a crunchy pretzel, I don't know, man. I don't know about
I'll
that.
tell you what. I'll send you out some and see what you think.
Sure, I'll try it. I'll put some maple syrup on it. Some of your
That-
syrup.
This
You
pretzel
should have done a
company is.
collab, man.
Yeah. Well, I offered, but they're not ready to add new flavor yet.
You want to see this picture? Check this out. I was driving by the Hard Rock today on the strip. Look at that thing. Pretty sweet, right?
Yep, it is.
Man, that thing's
I-
gonna dominate the strip.
Coming from the south, that's all you see.
Whoa. I mean, but literally, I've got another picture coming. Well, yeah, you're right. Coming, but driving down south, this was like making, this was right at the Venetian when I was going back. But I've got another picture from the other end of the, let me see if I could.
Yeah, from about East Harmon up, that's all you can see.
Yeah, I've got, I wonder if this picture will take. Oh, yeah. Check this out. So then look at, here's from Aria when you're driving up at like, before you turn into Aria. You see that? How big that's like right in the center when you're driving down from the other end. I mean, it is really an imposing guitar.
That's gonna block a lot of view there.
I think those dudes are crazy. I saw a video of some fellas working on the outside of that. They were installing some of those tiles on the outside.
Yeah.
Those dudes are crazy.
Yeah.
Going up in a harness and working on the outside of that guitar. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. That's going to be interesting to go in there and play. Yeah, that'll be very interesting. Ozfell says, "Where's the pick?" Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that is going to be massive.
Once they get the neck on it, it's going to be awfully tall.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, this is I mean, driving by, it's pretty interesting to check out. It'll be really cool when that stadium is built too. You know, man, that is just domination over the strip. That is like a big FU to everyone, right?
Yeah, I took that same picture when we were down in the strip.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, right at the light. I'm like, let me grab this thing, man. It's pretty sweet.
I'm curious to see how it compares to some of the other Hard Rock hotels and some of the other guitars that they have up.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to play craps there and seeing what it's like. I was there right at the end at the one of the last times that yeah. The MGM Mile Mike says they must be bouncy as fuck. Easy. MGM tables always have 5 diamonds. True. You're correct, sir. You are correct. I wonder what it's going to be like. But
yeah, next time I play up here, I got to take notice of how many diamonds this local table has. Pretty sure it's 7.
Yeah. So well, listen. If anyone, I'm just going to put it out there. Anyone wants to connect with Dr. Yank, because your area is going to be pretty much just that North Carolina, Virginia area, right? You're not really venturing past that.
We may get up into Maryland a little bit, but not more than, I mean, Baltimore is going to be our upper limit, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and then, okay. So you would know, I mean, do you know Mid-Atlantic Craps and Old Bay?
I mean, I know those guys. I know Jeff very well. Old Bay and I have not connected, but because they're the sort of that Baltimore area, you're getting more into Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I think
that.
Old Bay.
Copy that. Yeah.
Old Bay is more on the Atlantic City side of things.
Yeah.
I know he plays at Maryland Live, which Dark Vader and I have played at. And actually, I enjoy playing there. I've had really good luck on their tables. But Old Bay and I know he plays there, but I haven't been able to connect with him.
Yeah. Then Granite Dice, you're going to be, if there's anyone out in that historic part of the country.
Yeah, anybody who's coming out here, feel free to give them my number.
Yeah. And I do like the fact that there's a little thing going on now with going out in Foxwoods with BRBs leading he's a great dude, and seems to have a very regular schedule of going out there. I think that's someone who you'd want on your team or part of your crew, or someone that would regular. He's a serious player.
Yeah, there's one particular table at Foxwoods we really like. We'd seem to do well on it.
Yeah. You guys definitely gotta hook that up.
Our biggest problem down there, and you can relate to this, is we drive 2.5 hours to get there. We're there half an hour and go up $1,000. What do? You turn around, drive 2.5 hours back home.
Probably. I mean,
Yes.
the book
We
would say that.
We should.
Yes.
We it seems though we don't, but we should.
I feel like if you're
You
up
put-
1,000, especially, what's your bankroll that you're starting with?
Usually 1,000.
Oh man, then that's kind of
you
a
go eat
no-brainer.
you go eat a steak and then you go home.
Yeah.
We got to get better at that. But I know No Handle Steve. He's always like, Jesus Christ, we drove 2.5 hours to get here. I don't want to leave yet.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's our problem too, is you drive an hour and a half and you're like, I don't want to quit playing because we've won, we've had a good time. But yeah, absolutely, that's the time to cut it off and go home. But it's hard to do because you guys are just like us. You're in a desert.
Yeah, well, that's why Turning Stone in New York was so good for me. I'd go out and visit my son at college in Syracuse, stop at Turning Stone on the way home and play. And as soon as I got up $500, $600, $800, I'd call her up and say, guys, it's been fun, but it's a long drive back to Boston. And boom, gone.
And it's funny, 10 Ton, because Dark Vader, that's Turning Stone is Dark Vader's. That's one of the places that he's had a lot of success.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think he's from the New York area as well. He's had some time that he's been up in there, and he loves Turning Stone. And he said he's had a lot of success at Turning Stone, and so another connection there.
Yep, same here. I've had good success there. 10 Ton, you'd love that area.
I don't know. Would I? I'm not
you
quite
would.
sure. I'm not quite
Not
sure.
not enough casinos there.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there's more and more all the time now.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, that's true.
You can go
That's
up there.
true.
And
Do they have good pretzels? That's the thing.
Oh, they got good Italian food there. I'll tell you what.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The thing everybody eats there is chicken riggies and Utica greens.
Man, Utica greens. I don't know. That does not sound appetizing.
Google it.
Shit. Okay. I will. All right. So
Apparently,
listen. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we got to wrap it up. 3 hours into it, I have actually someplace to be. So it's 9 o'clock. What time? 9 o'clock here. So I know it's midnight over there.
Yep.
And
I don't want you to be late for your appointment.
I got an appointment with the gym. I got to make it to. So
mine is. I try to get to the gym at 6:15.
Well, I mean, listen. I appreciate the fact that you guys stayed up. It's midnight.
Yeah. Hey, I've been sitting here doing paperwork, trying to get caught up.
The power of craps.
You know when you run your own business, how that goes.
Yeah, it kind of never ends. But wanted to, thank you both. Thanks, Granite Dice, for stopping in, giving us a little trip report. Yank, dude. Pleasure. Hopefully most people can meet you because you're a great guy to have at the table. I mean, I've been at the table. I really have only been at the table really once with you. No, but there was a time when I didn't play that I saw you from straight out and I did not want to buy in because you were having such a great role. Maybe I bought in after. That might have been, but you had a great role.
Well, there was one I think the best time we had was when we were on that half table in Biloxi.
Yeah, in
You
Biloxi.
were
Yeah.
like, I'm not shooting. I'm not shooting. So
No, not from there.
that's okay. That's okay.
Not from that spot where I was.
You got to
were you on?
You got to know your spot.
Yeah. That was good. That was up with Odds fellow that went Ed, Odds fellow, you, me, and then JJ. Too crowded for one side of the table, but still it's cool.
Absolutely. Always a good time.
Yeah. So listen, you guys, appreciate both of your time. Hopefully people can connect. Easy, I'm gonna play that. But thanks for everyone that was in the chat tonight. Just appreciate the support and just the community. And that's the main thing. Just trying to build this thing out, man. This is it's fragmented. It's like finding the like people that have been like infected with this game, right? Infected in their brain, pretty much.
Just
right?
spreading the virus the best we can.
Yeah, I know, dude. What is that? Misery loves company, right?
Jeez, I caught that infection about 35 years ago in Nassau.
Oh man, dude, medication doesn't help. I guess white Russians do, right?
Well, I went on a bender in Nassau about 35 years ago and had no clue what I was doing, but walked away with about $2,500.
Oh yeah, man. Nassau.
The big hook.
Are you talking about the Bahamas?
Oh, yeah, Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh man.
The
Nice.
big hook was in the morning going down in the elevator, and this guy is giving me the eyes, right? He's checking me out, and all of a sudden he says to me, "I remember you. You made me a lot of money last night."
Yeah, that's always
And
nice, man.
That really put the hook in me. And when I left that table, the dealer said to me, "Too bad you didn't know how to bet. You could have made 10 times that."
That's what they always say.
Yeah, but you remember that too, because when I had a roll, someone said you should have made like 56,000 on this roll, and I still remember that. And then that's a lesson when you're like, shit.
Well, I was happy. I paid for the trip.
Yeah. What did I miss? But all right, listen, you guys, I'm gonna change to a little Vegas view. Maybe try to like and subscribe. You know, I didn't think I said that once. Like and subscribe, and then we'll you know.
Hey, if you're not part of the Casino Tears community, you're a loser.
Yeah,
you're
there
a loser.
you go. Yeah.
Oh, 10 ton. Katie said to tell you hi.
Oh, nice. Tell Katie Bear that I said hello.
I will do that.
So, I'll see you guys both soon. Thanks for everything. Appreciate it.
All right, you guys take care. Have a great night.
All right. Later, man. Later, Yank. Later, Granite. Later.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Thanks for staying on. You staying on for 3 hours. Shit, dude. Even through the technical difficulties. Hats off to you, man. That was a rough start. That's an embarrassing rough start. It's all my fault too.
If you let go of Eric, I'm going to be really disappointed, because he is the savior. He is the son, not my son.
ETG, man. He is he figured it out. Troubleshooting. Man, we could not figure that out.
I know what it is now.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you know, you get there.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on here.
Oh, dude, Yank, it was awesome, dude.
Absolutely.
I gotta play this the sad dog merch thing for Easy E if he's still on. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
That's the best commercial you have.
Oh, the sad dog is? Yeah, ETG
Yes,
he won't let me put starving children on it. He still won't. I'm still trying. He won't. He's holding his ground. All right. I'm gonna go to this. All right. Later, Yank.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Thanks, man.